Hello and welcome to AntipoDnD. Apologies for the lack of new episode last week. I was rather unwell, but I'm feeling much better now. So this is a show in which a bunch of Australians play Dungeons and Dragons in a setting partly inspired by prehistoric Australia and New Zealand. So expect some strange creatures in this world. I am joined as usual by Kynwyn, Doug, April, and Zindy. And we are going to basically jump right into it. So a quick recap from what happened last week, 2 weeks ago. Our adventurers had arrived in the Wandering Isles on the far side of the world after being shipwrecked off the coast. They made their way through a spider-infested forest, eventually found a road, followed it northwards towards the city-state of Providence. Upon arriving at Providence, they were informed that they would need to eventually report to the Coruscant Academy if any member of the party were expecting to practice any magic while within the city, because there are certain regulations around its use. As a group, the party decided to make their way to the academy. They were escorted there, or guided there, by Connie, or Contemplation, a teenage tiefling who they met in the beach market. She was selling flowers. So upon arriving at the Coruscant Academy, they sorted their business there. They registered those who needed to be registered. And as they were leaving the administration building, there was suddenly an explosion behind them, as it appears that part of the building seems to have disappeared. The last thing that any of our characters recall at this point is a great blast hitting them from behind, 3 of them falling down a small flight of steps and taking a few minor bruises on the way. So we pick up straight from there. The echoes of the boom are still rolling about in all of your ears. There's a moment of dazed confusion as you're trying to work out exactly what's happening. You glance behind you, you see the damage to the building. It looks like one corner of the building has just been decimated, bits of it flying everywhere. And can everybody give me a perception roll, please?
Perception. That's down here. Perception roll.
18
total.
Sorry, April,
14.
what was that?
18 for Aussie.
15 for me.
11.
14 on Videricus.
Okay, good to know. So as you're 3 of you are sort of lying or sitting at the bottom of the steps, Orsi, I think you're the one who survived your dexterity check, so you're sort of just standing around in I imagine in horror. What has happened to what is supposed to become your home away from home?
I'm good, man.
As this is happening, all of a sudden, each of you starts to feel incredibly drowsy. To the point that I'm not even going to let you roll to save. The next thing that happens is you are all unconscious.
Yeah, this is normal.
Time passes. You can all have a long rest.
Oh, beautiful.
You've all leveled up now. The players actually leveled up as a result of reaching Providence, but we don't actually I don't have new levels take place until the characters have rested. So, but I also need each of you to roll 1d6 and just give me the result.
Okay.
Rolling 6.
That's a 4 for Aussie.
3 for Dagmar.
1 on Videricus.
And Zindy?
It was a 6.
6. Oh dear. So, on your character sheet, at the top of where it's got your abilities, you have the option to manually adjust your ability score. Each of you is going to lose 1 point in one ability score based on what you just rolled. So, April, I'm sorry to say, you lose 1 point of intelligence.
No! I need that.
That's really. I'm sorry. That's a bad
That's
roll.
stupider.
Oh, why are we taking stat damage? Oh my god.
Kindward, you lose 1 point of Constitution. Doug, you lose 1 point of Strength. And
Okay, that's fine. I can be weaker.
Zindi, you lose 1 point of Charisma.
Aw. Now how do I adjust that though? Override score? Is that?
No, there's another
Other modifier.
other modifier. Yeah,
All right, so I'm gonna put -1 on
just
there.
put -1 in there, and
All right, where's the save button? I don't see a save button.
Oh,
It-
you just click out of it. It'll
Yeah.
automatically
You just click
do it.
out and it'll do it. Okay,
just
cool.
auto saves constantly.
All right.
Okay, so a bit of time has passed. You're not aware of how much, but you all come to it roughly the same time. You're feeling rested. You're not really sure you'd say you feel good, but as you blink your eyes open, you find you're in a room. There aren't any windows that you can see. It's each of you is lying on. It feels like you're lying on a bed of some kind. You can see a roof above you, and as you sit up and start to look around, it looks like you might. The architecture is consistent with what you've seen of the Coruscant Academy here. So it looks like you might be in a building, in a room within the academy. And given the fact that there are 4 beds laid out here, there are a few tables with various instruments, there's a mirror, there's what looks like a fresh sort of basin of fresh water. It might be some kind of clinic, might be for assisting with medical treatment for students perhaps who've had minor magical accidents. There's a single wooden door. It's currently closed. Next to the door, sitting on a chair, there is a young woman. She appears to be a half-elf. She's wearing robes that also you recognize as the robes of a student at the academy, not a graduate and not a teacher. She's got very long, straight, red hair. She also has smooth, sort of light greenish skin, but not green in an unhealthy way. It looks like she, some of her elven heritage in there might have had some kind of wood elf heritage in there, which came with some green skin.
She's born with it.
And yeah, but she's slumped down in a chair, and she looks like she seems to have drifted off at this point. She seems to be sleeping. And you also notice that next to her on the floor, there's a large chest of items. A chest which is locked at the moment, appears to be closed.
So we're all coming to it about the same time? Or?
Yeah.
Right.
I think Orsi grabs his chest to check if his necklace is still there. Is it?
Once you start moving around, the half-elf stirs and she goes, I'm awake. And you are too. Oh, good.
What happened? Where are we?
Right, just, yes, okay. How are you all feeling?
Morzod, no stranger to waking up after having passed out, sits up carefully. You don't sit up quickly after this. And he kind of takes stock and says, well, I'm all right. Where's the little guy? Where's the little guy?
You don't see the goanna anywhere. And she says, little, what, you mean?
Small, what we call them, dragon lizard?
You can see, for a moment there, she was trying very carefully not to look at Dagmar. But once you go into dragon lizard, she's going, sorry, I don't know. I don't remember. Don't remember anything about a dragon lizard thing.
No.
Look, I need you, and as you're moving about, you're starting to realize that you're clothed, but you don't have any of your items.
Right.
And she says, look, I need you, okay, I need you all to stay here, please. Okay, I have to go and get Master Headstrong. I'm awake. Can you all stay here, please? I'll be in so much trouble if you're not here when I get back.
Fine, go.
Okay. Sorry. And she sort of opens the door, closes it behind her, and you hear it lock after she's gone.
Immediately get up and go to the chest.
I'm going with
Does he have it?
Orsi because I'm going to try and pick the lock if you
Okay.
can't get it open with magic.
I want the chest. Do what you want with the door. I don't care.
No, the chest. The chest is locked.
That is
The
what
chest is locked, isn't it?
that is what you discover when you try to open it, Orsi.
She knows.
So, Kindwin, if
I
you're
might
going to
have-
try to pick the lock, you don't have your lock picks. So
I might have a spell.
Bobby pins? Bobby pins.
you can still
Does Dagmar have some artful bobby pins in her braids?
you can still try to pick it, but it's going to be much harder than it would otherwise be.
I'm going to have a solid crack.
Mm-hmm. So a slide of now this is just dexterity, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
All right, let's try that one. It's a 14.
14.
Do I break a nail?
No, you don't. But so you sort of look around the room and you do find a few stray pieces of metal. Like you find what looks like some tweezers, and you try and get that in there, but it's just not the right shape. You try very hard, but you're not able to get it done.
Do I have my spell books on me?
No, you do not. You do
Well, I
not have
can't
your
help.
spell books. You do not have your spell components.
We have our undergarments, and that's it.
You have your overgarments as
normal.
well.
This is normal.
Chest.
Ozzy,
What?
you're busy. The blowing up thing, is that normal? The building, I mean.
Well, it didn't happen when I was a student, so I'm gonna say no.
Hmm.
Have I ever seen an explosion like that at school? I doubt it.
You were aware of the occasional boomf or pop coming from the actual wizard tower while you were a student, and that is what towers are for. Those are the places where you do dangerous things so that you can, protect everyone else from them. Then that is where you go to practice. But a magical or even natural explosion, whether black powder or whatever, that never happened while you were at school. Nothing that actually damaged any facilities.
Never seen anything like that before in my life.
Hmm.
Are we okay? Are we injured in any way? I do feel stupider. Does anyone else feel a little bit stupider? Vatericus, this is what you must feel like all the time. How do you get by?
It's
Vatericus
pretty stupid.
doesn't rise to the bait for the first time and doesn't really engage. He seems to have woken up in a bit of a cold sweat, as if from a nightmare, and hasn't had an awful lot to say the whole time. He's been sort of staring at the wall blankly.
Well, I can't do anything about locks without my spellbook. How rude. Take a wizard spellbook.
And these tweezers are crap.
At this point, the door unlocks and opens, and the half-elf follows in a halfling, a relatively fairly old-looking halfling. She's wearing, Orsi, what you recognize as teacher robes, very high-ranking. She is what we'd consider head of a department or something like that. She is, within the highest circles of the academy. She's got short, wavy black hair, brown eyes, fairly dark brown skin. She stands, and she's quite short. She's about 3 feet tall. And she just sort of, storms in with the half elf sort of peering nervously through the door behind her, and the halfling says, "All right, so you're all up. How you feeling?"
Stupider, if you could imagine that.
Oh dear, how terrible for you. But you're not
It is
injured or
all-
anything like that. You're not all falling apart, or no sudden growths, no protrusions, no tentacles, no, I don't know, you've all got your heads on. That's pretty good, right?
I've had worse
What's that?
hangovers.
Was that explosion magical in nature? Were you expecting us to have something like that?
I was rather hoping you might be able to, enlighten us, because we're still trying to work out what it was, but you didn't really... Did you see what happened?
Well, I might be able to help if I had my spell books, which you did take off me.
Give me a persuasion check, please.
Okay. Persuasion.
With someone
Plus.
new coming into the
Oh.
room, Vitericus has snapped out of it a little bit too. Getting
17.
back to
17. She
Plus,
says,
friendly
plus
smile.
nothing. I have 0.
yes. Oh, all right. Serode, and the half-elf, sort of looks at her blind, dumbfounded, says, "Oh, key, yes." And she gives her the key, and, gives the key to the halfling, who then tosses it to you, or C, and she just says, "In the chest."
Immediately go to the chest and unlock it.
And
Wonderful. Thank you, Master Headstrong. Now,
everything is in there, by the way,
Oh,
wonderful.
except the goanna.
take all 3 of my books and my necklace back.
So Morzod's letting the others do their thing, and he approaches the halfling and he goes, "There was so a young lass with us. She had red and the little horns.
Oh,
she didn't speak any.
The tiefling, yes?
Yeah, she right?
Yeah, was she with you?
Yeah, she was gonna show us to somewhere to sleep after we'd checked in.
I'll double check for you. I've only just returned to the school this morning after sleeping throughout the night, so I haven't had a proper chance to check in with everybody yet. Actually, Serode and this poor half-elf, who seems to be desperately waiting to be told she can go to sleep, and the halfling says to her, go and get Chief Briber." And Serode says, okay, and dashes off. And so the halfling looks at you all again and says, "Oh, what am I doing? I should probably introduce myself. I'm Master Mathan Headstrong. I'm one of the teachers here at the school. I'm also in charge of the clinic for any sort of magical ailments or anything else that might happen while students are here. So the 4 of you were brought here as soon as it became clear that you'd passed out after the explosion yesterday evening. But once it became clear that you weren't in any immediate danger of, bleeding out, I decided to head home and get some rest, and just had my assistant watch over you over the night. So I need to do some proper examinations just to try and get an idea of what might have happened to you, because our first look, we found some bumps and grazes, but nothing unusual. But the fact that you all fell asleep straight away is a bit odd to us.
Yeah, I ain't even had a drink.
So if you don't mind, I'd like to just do a few more tests now that you're all conscious.
It's fine. Have I ever heard of some sort of magical sleep or something like that before?
You're certainly aware of sleep spells, but an explosion that causes people to fall unconscious is...
No.
Yeah, unless it's the kind of explosion that knocks people on the head. And even then, something that knocks you out for long enough to spend the whole night unconscious is just as likely to kill you. So, no, this is not anything you're familiar with. And you can sort of understand why Master Headstrong is a bit concerned about this. This is an unusual event. Once you've all finished collecting your various things from within the chest, you might notice that there's something in there that is unclaimed. So whoever was the last to recover their possessions, who would that have
I
been?
think
Orsi
that would have been me.
I think Orsi was in there first.
Who's
Yeah,
number one, yeah.
I was
Close
letting everyone
behind.
else at it while I was speaking with the headstrong.
Cool.
So that'd have probably been me.
So Morzid, after you've collected your things, you see that still lying in the chest, there are two brightly coloured objects that look like it might have once been a cube of some kind of metal that has actually been split in half and is now lying side by side within the chest.
Huh. Do one of you guys have a square thing that you pick up?
Yes. My apologies. That one's mine. Thank you very much.
Right, your square
and I
thing.
will
Yeah. So it looks like it's
grab it
busted,
and
but
pocket
there's
it.
a couple of bits. Yeah.
Vitericus, give me a...
Yes.
I'm not really sure what to get you to roll for this. Just give me an intelligence check, please.
Okay.
Just to try and recognize what kind of material it's made of.
16 flat.
Okay. This actually helps that you purchased a necklace made of this the day before. This is a cube of pyrite.
What, sorry?
Pyrite, also known as fool's gold.
Wonderful.
And a cube is actually the natural crystalline formation of this particular mineral. But what you do notice is that on the inside, where it's cracked open, what is unusual is that there are all these tiny, extremely complex lines, almost like a spider web or something like that, that is appears to be black, almost like an obsidian inclusion within the pyrite, which looks actually quite unnatural to you.
Groovy.
I will notice all of that and pocket it as though it were no big thing.
Okay. So, Master Headstrong does several tests, most of which is just asking a few questions, checking you for, how you respond to various stimuli, and for the most part, you all seem healthy enough. You're not bleeding out. You're not. You're responding to pain normally. You're all a little bit groggy in one way or another. But at one point where she takes a moment to go and read through a book to try and understand something, you all hear a voice, or at least you hear a thought. It's not as though you hear someone speaking. It's as though someone is thinking in your brain with you.
They must be so lonely.
What you each hear simultaneously, though you're not entirely aware that the others are hearing this, is someone going, "Hello! Is this working? Have I worked this out? This is your language, yes? This is, what do you call it? Common. Common. Is that because everybody speaks it? That would make sense. Hello? 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 Okay.
I'm going to try and think back without giving the game away and going, yes, you've reached me. Yes, Common is a language I speak.
Oh, hello.
How can I help you?
Hello, me? Me is a personal pronoun, so that's not your name. But okay, hello. This is all very strange. I'm not entirely sure where I am or why I have 4 sets of eyes. It's very confusing. Where am I?
So hang on. Did we hear what Vitericus thought back?
No, you did not.
Right. So we're hearing half a conversation.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Dagmar has flinched violently and sworn very loudly.
Master Headstrong looks over and says, "What's up, lass? You okay?"
I have some concerns about what's happening with my head right now.
Oh. Well, it looked fine when I did the examination. Would you like me to take another look?
Morzad looks distracted. He can hear someone. He can't see them.
If I'm hearing voices, how likely are you to lock me up again? Theoretically.
She,
Asking for a friend.
her voice turns very grave and says, young dear, are you hearing voices?
No. I am just asking out of curiosity, in case anyone else might have
Look,
suffered horrible head injuries.
my primary concern is your well-being, so I need you to be completely honest with me. You're not in trouble. I'm not going to lock you up unless I think you're a danger to yourself or to others. But I need you to be completely honest with me. Are you hearing voices?
Nope, I feel
think
great.
she just hit her head and perhaps it's ringing a little bit. Isn't that right?
Yes.
That is right. I am so new to this whole upstairs world thing that I am overwhelmed easily.
I had ringing once that sounded like me mum.
You have noticed that while you're all talking, you're not hearing this voice in your head anymore.
Wonderful. Master Headstrong, don't worry. I am a student of the medical arts. I promise I will keep an eye on Dagmar and bring her back here straight away if there is any medical issue.
Oh,
Thank
that's good to know. Where did you study?
Oh,
Where did you study, Vatericus?
He's a big deal in the underground.
Why? I have
Definitely
no
heard
idea
him.
who Vatericus is. My name is Emmanuel. You must have hit your
Oh.
head quite hard.
I
Lord
must
Lickendron, I
have.
think you should
My
stay here.
mistake.
Perhaps under lock and key for your own safety.
Oh,
I would give anything.
I need
do that.
so many deception rolls from you people. Doug and Dagmar, can you either roll deception separately or one of you can aid the other? Actually, I think Dagmar...
Can I aid Dagmar? I feel like I was helping her.
I think Dagmar
you
was
were.
helping Vatericus. So, Vatericus, please roll with advantage for deception.
Where am I at? Deception.
I'm just going to get Vatericus to roll with advantage because you helped him.
Oh, okay.
So that's a 19.
It's a 19.
I also rolled a 19, even though it wasn't necessary. On the same
Rolling
wavelength.
deep. I love it.
Yep. She seems to believe you. She says, "All right,
Wonderful.
that's good. That's good to know." So, look, I'll be honest. I'm still a little concerned. I've not found anything obviously wrong with you. It's then that the half-elf woman, the poor exhausted half-elf woman, reappears. This time with a male gnome. A short little gnome, large round head, light, sort of fairly pale skin, white hair, and the gnome just sort of storms in and says, "What's this about, Headstrong?" And the halfling turns and says, so our 4 patients here were concerned about the tiefling girl that they came here with yesterday. Do you know what became of her? He says, "Oh yeah, we've been keeping her in the hole just to be safe." And
She alright?
Rough, for
as
sure.
soon as he says keeping her in the hole, you see Master Headstrong just goes, "You what? You are keeping a child in a place designed for people who would... Get out of my way." And she turns to the 4 of you and says, "You 4, come with me." And she just storms right out.
Evo.
Wonderful. Is Chief Briber following us? Coming with us?
He seems to be trying to protest, but has no impact whatsoever on this tiny but incredibly intimidating halfling who's now
Wonderful.
storming down the corridor.
As we walk then, I will say, Chief Briber, I am a respected physician. My name is Emmanuel Aresti, and I am willing to take responsibility for young Contemplation if you would like to remand her to my custody for the foreseeable future.
He says, "All right, well, not exactly your call, but look, we'll sort it out. It really should be the Archmage's call, you understand?"
Of course, and we can check with the Archmage if you would like, but I am happy to offer that service if it would be helpful.
So you all follow the
While we're following, may I speak to, what was his name again? Chief
Brybar.
Brybar. Chief Brybar.
Yeah.
Who is the Archmage of this particular campus?
That's Archmage Radad Shakur.
Rard Shakur. Good to know, thank you. Also, would the other academies have something similar to the Hull, or is it specific? I've never heard of it before.
It's not a phrase you've heard of before. You are aware of sort of magical cages in which they would secure experiments gone wrong, or if there's an attempt at summoning a demon where they're worried that the mage could lose control.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What was the Archmage's name again? Sorry.
It's Radad Shakur. Rhadad.
Yes.
Shakor.
K-O-R. Radad Shakur. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
So
If I think to the thing that we heard, is it talking to us anymore?
once there's a moment of quiet as you're sort of storming, you're now sort of moving across the courtyard. You've come up through the admin building. You're now walking through the courtyard towards the Mage Tower, and you do then start to hear a voice saying, "This is all incredibly confusing. So I don't know this place. It's all very not home."
I want to think to it. Where are you exactly? Are you with us?
I think I'm inside you. That seems the most logical explanation. This is fascinating. Certainly not what was intended, but...
And what was intended?
Morzod, still distracted, still looking for the voice, but also still striding along with Headmistress.
Dagmar's feeling very twitchy.
Yeah. Oh, oh. See, I have a bad habit of blurting things out, and I keep getting... You see, Emperor Zun keeps telling me I say too much, so I have to be careful, have to remind myself, don't just blurt it out. So I probably shouldn't tell you what was supposed to happen, but this was definitely not it.
Emperor Zan tells you you speak too much. Is that right?
Yes, yes.
Oh, I see.
Where is he?
Would we know that name?
Give me a history check.
History. Oh, I'm stupid now.
Only a little bit.
14.
11.
9.
No.
Oh, I've got a -1, but hey, why not, eh?
Roll a 20, you never know.
12.
No, none of you
Nope.
recall the name of Zun.
I write it down in my spare book.
You arrive at the Mage Tower, the voice goes quiet again, and as you move inside, you've got a cylindrical room with stairs going up and down. You go down deep into the rock of the spit that makes up this part of the of the geology, and at the bottom of it you have a round stone cage which is completely sealed off, and you can see runes and all kinds of markings inscribed all around it. And looking at this also, you can see that yes, this is a magical cage / anti-magic shell / whatever it needs to be to withhold something, to hold on to something extremely or potentially extremely dangerous. And Headstrong the halfling, she is just fuming at this point, and she walks right up to it, and you can see that there's another mage standing guard who sort of goes to try and speak to her, and she just brushes him aside, and she walks up, puts her hand on the cage, and a panel just sort of magically slides open, and inside you see Connie, the 14-year-old tiefling, sitting on the ground, nursing this little goanna that she's been holding on to, and she
There she is, Connie!
looks up, and you can see that she's been crying. It's pretty obvious, and she looks up, and as soon as she sees all of you, she immediately sort of gets up to her feet and starts to move forward, but then stops very nervously, and the halfling says to her, "It's all right, little one. I'm very sorry for what my associate did to you. This was completely uncalled for. You are free to go. If you don't mind waiting, I wouldn't mind asking you a few quick questions, but I am equally happy to escort you home and ask those questions in front of your parents or guardians, if appropriate. I am deeply sorry for what happened here." And Connie looks around and looks at you, Morzod, and offers up the goanna.
Yep. Mozart is right at the front. He's reaching out. He's like, Connie, come here. And he also chooses to inform Headstrong. Says, she don't talk.
Yes. Does she have her book?
No, she doesn't.
Where's her? She's no. Come on.
I give her my spare book.
And
Dagmar's going to give her a little hug.
Connie,
we are all
Connie
very
takes
glad
it.
and
Yeah.
friendly to see her. Yep.
You have to give that back when you're done.
Big comforty mode here.
And she sort of looks around at all of you, and then she points at you, Orsi, and with the book sort of asks. She's asking for something to write with, you think?
I assume I have a pen and quill, so I give that to her.
And she writes down fairly messy handwriting, because her hand's actually shaking as she does it, and she writes down, "My things, please." And
She had a basket.
Yeah, she had a basket and she had a book with the fast words in it.
And the halfling says, "Oh, they took..." Right. And she immediately goes out, finds a chest, opens it up, returns Connie's basket and her notebook and everything that was hers, including her coins, the gold, the silver that you'd given her the night before.
Oh, lovely.
And
Mozart looks very relieved. He's very glad that she's okay.
Yeah, and the halfling says, "Well, this has been a disgrace. I am..." Chief Brybar says, "Look, I think we need the Archmage's okay to let her go. We don't know what caused that explosion. And look, she was there at the time. She's not a member of the Academy. She never went into any of the buildings, as far as we know. Who knows what she was doing?"
She was just showing us the way. We're new in town and we needed someone to bring us here.
Whatever caused the explosion, Chief, do you really think it was a child? On the outskirts of the Academy? With no magical training?
Can the two of you please give me persuasion checks?
Persuasion. Right.
14.
Oh, wow, ouch. That was a 7. I'm going to put that on my charisma having gone down 1. I'm just feeling really grumpy at the moment. I'm not. Yes, not good for me, but his is all right.
Brybar says, "I don't know. I think we need to find the source of the explosion before we do anything else. We still don't know what blew up that room. It's just damn lucky."
We need to find it, but you bloody...
I was going to say, there was overkill. You didn't have anything. What? Did you detect magic? Did you try and identify what she was? If she was anything else? Seeming, true sides? You're a wizard, aren't you? You should do
Of
better.
course we did. But
Then there shouldn't be a... You threw her in a cell. That's overkill. Even by my standards.
there was nothing... Look, fine, whatever. Get out
We
of
told
here.
her to come with us.
Fine, go. I'll have the Archmage come after you, if it turns out that she's responsible, or if any of you are responsible. Won't that be fun? Get out of
how
here.
You look forward to it.
Dare you? My father will be hearing about this.
Oh, good. I look forward to that. And he just storms
Expect
off.
Expect a letter. How rude.
Oh dear.
So, Master Headstrong starts escorting the five of you now back into the courtyard, and she looks around and says, "Well, Chief Brybar has always been a dick, but I have to say he does have a point. We still don't know what caused that explosion."
A mystery.
Ozzy says it's not normal for
No.
your mage play there.
No, any dangerous artifacts that could cause something like that we store in the Mage Tower until we've been able to disarm or discern their... we do occasionally bring in artifacts dug up from various archaeological sites around here, but anything that could be dangerous like that would have been secured.
Is the library all right? The library wasn't
The library is undamaged, yes.
wonderful. Who's the librarian here? Who's the chief librarian?
The librarian is... that's Rosaxa.
Saxa. Are they around, perhaps? Did you need us for anything else specific? Are we seeing the Archmage today, or...?
She pauses and thinks it through and says, "Well, I need to see this young lady back home safely. So I'll attend to that unless you want to take responsibility for that."
I'm coming with.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely not.
Yes.
Okay.
We'll walk her home.
All right. So which of you are going with Connie and which of you are staying?
I'm going with Connie.
Thanks.
I'll hang out with Orsi.
Okay. So, also you're heading to the library, is that correct?
Yes, please.
Okay. So, as you and Dagmar go to the library, Morzord and Vitericus, Emmanuel, start to make your way back down through the civic district. You're heading in the general direction of Arena Square.
I suppose Connie's leading us.
Yes, Connie is
we-
showing you where to go, since none of you actually know where she lives.
Yes.
Yes. As we walk past Arena Square, does it look like there's spaces out there for like street performers to do things, or is it just one big arena and like thoroughfare around?
Well, before you even get to Arena Square, let's first go to Orsi. What exactly are you doing in the library?
Cousin.
It's like our
Sorry.
ship name.
cousin Orsid. I would like to try and find Rosaka.
Mhm.
Rosaxa.
Rosaxa.
Yes.
Yes,
And-
she is working through the various stacks and shelves. There are books, there are scrolls, there are every kind of written material known to being kind. Almost said mankind. She is another gnome, a relatively short female gnome.
Have you been in a library before, Dagmar? It's nice, isn't it?
It is nice. We don't actually have a lot downstairs,
Oh, go figure.
especially not in my family.
Well, let's you can help me do some little bit of research. Excuse me, Rosaxa?
Yes.
Is it?
Yes.
Hello.
Yes, I'm head
Orsi-
librarian here.
Head librarian, yes. I'm Orsi Lichtenbrod. You might know my father, Oscar. He's the head librarian in Taras.
Yes. Yes, I do, yes.
Rip.
Moving on. I was just wondering, you wouldn't happen to have a section on kingdoms, past, something like that, ancient rulers,
Oh.
known rulers?
Oh, certainly we have, and she guides you, she just points out to you the historical section, particularly, there are, as well as being lots of ancient artifacts, ancient writings and so forth, there are also modern compendiums and encyclopedias, essentially. So what exactly are you looking for?
You haven't heard of a specific emperor, perhaps called Emperor Zun? Emperor Zun?
Emperor Zun. Yes, he was the last emperor of the Jinault, of the Jinault Empire.
Jinault Empire.
That's
Interesting.
XIN'_OULT.
XIN'_OULT.
Where does that come in?
Wonderful.
Decimal?
Also,
Do you have any terms, or just yes?
also, you can give me a history check to see if you've heard of the Jinault Empire.
Okay, the Jinault Empire. Oh, it was nearly a good number. 10.
No. It sounds vaguely familiar, but it's not something that you majored in while you were
Still
studying.
feeling stupid.
But she says, yes, you can. If you wish to learn more about the Empire, I can point out a few books to you.
I would love that. Thank you.
Can
So
I sidle up to Orsi at this point and say, so you heard that voice too then?
I don't know what you're talking about. Thank you, Rosaxo. That'll be all.
She nods and goes back to her other work.
Yes, I did hear the voice. Maybe don't speak about it in front of other people.
I'm short. No one hears me.
She was shorter than you.
Oh, shit. This is true.
She was a gnome, yeah? She was a gnome?
She was a gnome. She was a short gnome, less than 3 feet tall.
Oh,
I'm
she's
4
little.
foot.
She was, she was really just tiny.
Bless her socks. This is why I like
Yeah.
staying in this place.
And this is-
Everyone's shorter than me.
Yeah, and you notice every shelf around here has those, rolling ladders.
Love it.
Did you see her reaction to hearing my father's name? That's usually how it goes, isn't it?
So your father's popular?
Absolutely not.
Great.
He's doing his job though, so what can you do? But yes, I did hear the voice. I assume we all heard the voice.
Okay.
And
Good
it
to
mentioned
know.
an Emperor Zune, so I'm going to do a little bit of reading. You're welcome to join me if you like.
I will help you carry crap.
Yo, that was practically a date.
Okay.
Was he asking you to come and do some reading?
No, I didn't ask her. She came along with me.
I think he's just gonna balance books on my head while he
Yeah,
reads.
I mean,
Yeah.
We'll now
Hold my Starbucks while I read, thanks.
Yeah, that's fine.
we'll now switch to Vitericus and Morzad, escorting Connie along with Master Headstrong. And as you're walking down through the civic district, you notice a bit of activity on your right, atop the sort of rocky outcrop, which has the Panopticon tower on it with a great crystal. Beside that, there are these docks. They look like standard sea docks, but
Oh, the sky ducks.
yeah, they're the sky docks. You can actually, at this point, see an airship currently being loaded, as if it might actually be departing soon. And Master Headstrong sort of points it out and says, looks like they're heading to Titan's Rest. You know anything about that place?
Oh, not a thing. That's quite a boat, though, eh?
That's the one with the big bones, right?
That's the one with the big bones, yes. That's a most astute observation. It's, I haven't been there myself, to be honest. From what I've heard, I've no particular desire to go, but it is supposed to be the last resting place of a Titan, an 800-year-old corpse. So, of course, what does the Oceanic Trading Company decide to do? They dig up the bones, they mine them, and sell them. So,
Of course.
Not-
Does that mean that there's one of these docks there as well?
no, they, the airships are, let's say they were a gift from the previous owners of this city. When the revolution happened, I wasn't here for it, but my understanding is that the slaves destroyed one of the airships that the Ascendancy of Tarth had here, but they're able to capture the other one along with 2 skiffs, which are now used by the city mainly for security, but also for high-level diplomatic transport and that sort of thing.
I will file that away for later.
And you make your way further through. By the time you start to approach the wall, which is at number 9 on the map, Vitericus and Morzod, you both start to feel a little bit queasy. Something a bit strange is happening to you. It's as though you're starting to walk through. It's like the air is almost starting to solidify in front of you. You don't want to walk forward anymore. You still can, but it's harder. And unbeknownst to the two of you, Orsi and Dagmar, you're starting to feel a bit strange. Starting to feel tired, strained, stretched out almost, as if you're not entirely where you're supposed to be.
This is the best don't split the party mechanic I've ever heard.
In that case, then, as we're walking and I'm starting to feel that, I'm going to act on a suspicion I have and ask in Undercommon, is this you? In my head.
There's a pause, and you hear, sense, think a response along the lines of, "Oh, this is a different language. I don't know this one."
Okay, I'll swap back to common then. Is this your doing? Are we feeling like this?
Oh, thank you. It took all night.
You?
It took me, I don't know how long to learn this common that you speak. I didn't want to have to learn a second one. Is what me?
I'm not feeling great, and I suspect it has something to do with the explosion not terribly long ago, and possibly you being in my head.
Oh. Yeah, that does add up. That would make a lot of sense.
Morzod,
Wonderful.
still looking distracted,
Why is-
still not really speaking up.
Why is this happening?
Are you all, the two of you, still walking forward?
Hey,
trying
Morzod
to.
slowed down.
At this point, I want each of you to roll 1d4, please.
1d4. Let's go over here.
Should have stopped walking. 4.
This is...
Did mine actually roll? I clicked. Oh, I've got to click the roll button. Dude.
It's a 5. It's fine.
It's a 1!
This is how much psychic damage each of you takes at this point.
Oh, fuck.
Ow.
Shit.
So,
Drop all my books onto Dagmar.
and by the way, Orsi and Dagmar, you heard the other end of Vitericus's conversation with this voice, but you didn't hear what Vitericus said. But Vitericus, you take 4 points of psychic damage, which you visibly, noticeably flinch, and you might almost sort of go down onto one knee from it. That is a lot of sudden, intense pain.
Yes, I think I'm reeling backwards, back onto one knee, and I'm going to have to. Who's with us at the moment? We've only got.
It's Headstrong and Connie.
Headstrong, Connie, Morzod, and Vidi.
Goanna.
Cool.
Goanna.
And the Goanna. Yes.
I might have to look Connie in the eyes and go, Connie, my friend, I'm so sorry. I think I might have to go to the academy. I may be worse than I thought I was, and I may need some or access to the medical tools there, because, of course, being a medical professional myself, I won't need a doctor to look. But Master Headstrong, perhaps you could take Connie the rest of the way while we return to the academy, and if I could use your materials, that would be super helpful.
Headstrong and Connie both look very concerned for you, and Headstrong says, "Are you sure you'll be right to make it back on your own?"
I think we will see. If you come back and you find me passed out on the side of the road, be a friend and please drag me back to the academy.
Okay, I'm not going to take that chance. Connie, would you mind waiting just another 5 minutes while I take our friends back to the academy? And Connie nods agreeably. And so the two of them basically escort the two of you back to the academy.
Wonderful.
And at which point Headstrong says to one of the guards, okay, one of the guards at the entrance, I need one of you to go and find, I've forgotten her name, and to go and find Sirode. Yeah, to go and find Sirode for me. Wake her up if you need to.
That won't be necessary. Let the poor girl sleep.
And she looks at you and says, hey, with what you're going through at the moment, I am not trusting your judgment on this kind of thing. Let me decide, all right? I'm the one who had a good night's sleep and who isn't cringing in pain.
That's fair.
All right. Okay, you guards, keep an eye on this girl. She is... she's had a very... She's a friend. She's had a very hard night. We just need someone to escort her home. We're summoning Sirode to take her home.
She ain't anything magic. If I see her back in that box, I swear to Bruno.
And make sure nobody bothers her, especially Chief Briber. And the guards look at each other nervously, but nod their agreement. And then Headstrong takes the two of you back to the clinic. Orsi and Dagmar, your pain has faded.
Oh. Was that something to do with you? I think in my head.
And there's... Oh, the pain. Yes. No, I'm sorry. It's not intentional on my part. But you see, it's kind of... I suspect it's an inevitable outcome. You see, when you've got a soul split among 4 vessels, which I think is what's happened here, then it doesn't really like being split too far apart. That's my theory, at least. I'd be really interested in doing some more experimentation. Maybe if one of you could walk away and the other 3 stay, or if you could all 4 of you go in different directions, I'd really love to see how that affects you.
Bollocks to that.
Do you have a name?
That was out loud, by the way, so anyway.
Yes, my name is Zurasa.
Zurasa?
Yes, Zurasa.
Do we know how that's spelt by hearing it thought at us?
Actually, yes, you do. I'm going to say yes, you do, under the circumstances.
Now Mozart knows how to spell something. That's interesting.
Is it your... And I'm just like, what's he slumped over the table? Is it your soul that's been split into 4 parts?
Yes, that seems to be what's happened. Certainly wasn't
Wonderful.
The intention.
Yeah, I gathered that.
But where is Emperor Zun? I don't know this place.
You tell me where Emperor Zun is.
I don't know. The last thing that happened was I prepared myself for the soul transfer. It all seemed to go properly. I pulled the lever, and then I was in you.
Well, maybe I can help you out a little bit. What exactly were you originally intending to transfer your soul into? Perhaps there's been a little bit of a muddle up.
Oh, and you can hear that they're, again, a bit conflicted. I keep promising I'm not just going to blurt everything out.
Rasa, your essence of your being has been split into 4. I don't think you have a lot of choice but to tell me what's going on right now, so I can help you.
Look, I need you. Can you please find Emperor Zun, so I have his permission to speak? I don't want to put him in a bad position, and I don't want to get any of you in trouble with him. That tends to go bad. So
of course not. Of course not.
Is that what you're worried about? Completely ignoring Aussie because I can't hear Aussie on this side of the conversation. Well, fortunately for you, we are agents of Emperor Zun as well. And we would love to share information so that we may better serve our Emperor together.
And as you say that, you then hear the response, and there is a bit of fear and anger and despair in it. And it says, "You don't even know who Emperor Zun is. You're lying."
A clever deception.
But
to weed out true servants of the Emperor.
How can you not know who Emperor Zun is? What year is it?
Not hearing Vatericus' side of the conversation. I just answer back. Ambrosum was the last empire of the Jin-Olt dynasty, I believe. Empire. I'm not too sure. What year is it?
Latest, you mean? Not last. Latest.
Friend, whatever you are, we should probably have a talk once we're all one again. Writing things down in my book. What year is it? Dagmar, what year is it?
So you know it is 782 PC, post-Cataclysm.
It is 782 PC.
I think that.
And the voice says, PC? What's that mean?
Post-Cataclysm.
There was a cataclysm?
Yeah, pretty bad one.
782 years ago?
About that.
At this point, I feel like Dagmar is making, like, stop signs because she doesn't understand all of this crap, but she knows that Orsi is being real socially awkward.
Morzard's eyes.
Whatever she is saying, whatever he is saying is making it mad.
It's okay, he looks really girly, it's fine.
He has beautiful hair.
He does.
As everyone's talking, Vatericus is going to drop into the conversation randomly and go, hey, is there a way you could help us hear each other? Because this is feeling like a bad call.
Just, oh, yes, that should be possible. Just,
Oh my God.
look, just give me some time. I'll get back to you.
Orsi's about to have the worst day ever.
Wow, having Vatericus in his head is going to be great.
And at that point,
Having you two in my head.
at that point, the voice goes quiet.
Wonderful. Well, that should buy us some time, eh, Morzard?
We have no idea what Emmanuel just asked, and I am concerned that there is another pain shot heading for my head. Considering I copped a double whammy of psychic damage and Orsi dropping all of his crap on me.
So at this point, Orsi,
Sorry.
flicking through books and so forth, you have found a book which has got some history of various cultures and empires that were lost and totally destroyed by the Cataclysm. And one does talk a bit about the Jin-Olt Empire. There's very little information about it, but if you wanted to take some time, you could bury yourself in the book and learn what you can, or you can actually take the book out and borrow it.
Yeah, I'd like to borrow the book. If we're, well, how far? I guess we don't know where the others are, do we? So, I guess
We know that they're back.
It's around this time that Headstrong walks into the library and finds the two of you, and says, "Hello, how's your head?"
Newly dented.
I dropped a book on Dagmar.
Oh, well,
It happens.
I'm afraid
big one.
your other two companions had a bit of, I don't know, some kind of psychic attack. It's hard to pin down, but I'd like you all to return to the clinic. Again, I'm sorry for the inconvenience, I know, but it would be irresponsible of me to let you all walk out when this has just happened to your friends. So I need to work out what's going on. If you'd please return with me.
That's fine. Do you mind if I borrow this? A little bit of light reading.
Oh no, that's fine. You're a graduate of the academy. That's no problem. Just make sure to check it out.
Of course.
So you go through that process. You check out the book, and eventually the four of you plus Master Headstrong return to the clinic. And with the four of you there, she says okay, is there anything you're not telling me as a group?
I'll need a drink.
Look, I'm with you there, but is there anything you haven't told?
Beyond what we've told you already.
Right. A dog.
I'm going to need to get some help with this, I think. There's something very odd going on. I'm going to go and consult with the Archmage. I'll be back soon, but please stay here. You've got free reign of the campus, of course, but if you do leave the clinic, please make sure somebody knows where you are.
Of
Wonderful.
course. Thank you.
Master, could I bother you for a healing potion or a healing word or a laying on of hands or something to fix this headache?
And she says, she sort of looks you over and says,
He needs a drink.
says, yes. Yes, actually, let's do that. And she goes and goes to, there's a cabinet on the side of the clinic. She opens it up, and there are a small number of, glass vials. They're only about this big. And she hands one to you. It's the dark red, almost bloodish in color. And she says, there you go, but yeah, we don't have many of these to spare, and they are fairly expensive. But if you're in need, then I'm not about to deny it to you. So
Wonderful.
that's one potion of healing for you, Vitericus.
Great. What's the health roll on that? I'm just going to chug it straight away.
There's a 1d8 plus 1.
Perfect.
You can also, like, if you put the health potion in your equipment, it like has a button you can
Oh,
roll.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
That's a good point.
So the psychic damage, by the way, went on just like hit point damage, yeah?
Yeah, it's hit point damage.
Okay, so I'm just one down actually. So
Yeah, when I say what kind of damage it is, that's just in case your character has any resistances or
yeah,
immunities
gotcha.
or that sort of thing.
Did Orsi and I take that, or were we just...
You did. It was 1d4.
Okay.
Yeah, I took 5. 1d4. Oh, I rolled 1d6.
Yeah. Well, roll again. Take the
Yeah.
new result.
Yeah, I took 4, so
No.
I also have a blistering headache on
Ooh.
top of the...
I'll still take the 5. I feel like
Okay. And only Vitericus asks for healing. Okay.
this wizard headache.
Mhm.
These puny little humans are so wussy.
They are, aren't they? Says me.
So Master Headstrong has left the four of you alone in the clinic for now.
I'll
And-
get the book out and slam it down on the table. Right. Research time.
This
Okay.
is feeling real, prison-y. Just gonna put that out there.
We have free run of the campus. What more do you want?
We have to tell people when we leave the room. That feels very, observational.
Well, they are observing us because we weren't in a magical explosion, weren't we?
And they locked us in a room and took all our crap.
They
I
didn't
wasn't-
send us in that
I wasn't
box.
keen on that.
So,
So,
Orsi, your
yes.
quick reading of what there is about the Genolt Empire, which is very limited, but it is an ancient pre-cataclysm empire that had little to no dealings with any nations that survived the cataclysm. What little has been discovered about it is that it was rather small but incredibly powerful. Very strong knowledge of magic. They appeared to be originally something of a, for a while they were a military dictatorship which became imperial dictatorship. And there are theories that it was already on its decline before the cataclysm hit, so it might not have even survived, even had the cataclysm not come. And there is a note that it's believed they were early experimenters in animancy, also known as soul magic.
In animacy.
Can I quickly check that there's no one stationed outside our door?
There is, in fact, not directly outside your door, but there is somebody down the end of the corridor keeping a watch.
So they wouldn't hear us if we were talking.
And not unless they're very carefully trying to listen out to you.
Okay.
Can I, if we all want to just be quiet for 10 minutes, can I cast Detect Magic? Just check if there's any... I don't know, is there anything magical in the room other than our stuff? I'm so suspicious of a wizard's campus.
There's always going to be magical stuff inside
There's always
a
gonna be
wizard
magic.
school. Yeah, you get sort of faint pings all around you. Certainly, you get the impression that there are some more potions in that cabinet, and there are what appear to be a few scrolls locked away as well. But that's about it. You get a very, very, very faint hint of something, a kind of magic you don't immediately recognize, coming from Vitericus.
That's the usual one that I don't recognize, right?
No, this is something new, though it
Oh.
has a similar smell to it. You
I'll
think
deal with
he,
that later.
Take a
Yeah.
bath, Betty.
you think he might have something on his person that he didn't have before?
But
But
Terrapins.
whatever could that be?
Sorry,
yes, how can I help you?
Emmanuel, whatever, I don't care. Your aura is a little different today. The usual nonsense magic I sense around you is a little bit strange. Have you touched something you shouldn't have?
I touched an exploding academy recently.
Yeah, it's very cute. I'm serious. We have a voice inside of our heads. I need to know if you touched something you shouldn't have.
Yes.
Now that
Speaking
you've
of
actually said that out loud, Mozart actually pays a little bit of attention and kind of goes, he's hearing things.
We're all hearing things.
Oh. Huh.
But Terracus,
Sounds
seriously.
satisfied.
This
yes.
isn't a game.
No, I know. I don't know what could possibly be happening.
Right
but I will
now,
have
on your
questions.
person, I am sensing a magic that I don't know. And I don't like that.
Ah, how fun.
It's not.
Perhaps you've lost some memory in the recent explosion.
I really doubt it. It's not how the spell
Perhaps
works.
you've forgotten some things, become less intelligent.
I've definitely become less intelligent hanging around you. Now tell me what you touched.
I touched so many things over the course of a day, my lord. I couldn't
Whoa.
possibly tell you what specifically I've touched recently.
I don't care if you want to take things. If you're endangering everyone else around you, that's going to be a problem. Especially at a campus like this.
I haven't touched anything that you haven't seen today.
Turn out your pockets. What's on you?
Ah, I love this riddle. This is such a fun game. Can I get cracked on this?
Oh, you are lucky I don't have my familiar with me right now. What did you touch? Seriously.
I will quite happily turn out my pockets. There's nothing here, as I say, that we haven't already seen together as a group, so I'm more than willing to
Where
share.
is-
I am, after all,
where is
such an
pinging?
honest person.
Where is my detect magic pinging that I don't recognize?
Vitericus, do you turn out your pockets?
Mostly.
Okay.
Actually, yes, I do. I'm going to turn out everything because,
Okay.
cubes, whatever.
As soon as the broken cube appears, you get this faint ping of, oh yeah, there is something very faintly magical about it.
Would Dagmar recognize the metal, considering she
Yeah.
is?
Dagmar would immediately recognize it as pyrite, which Dagmar would know is not all that highly valued in jewel crafting, but you do know that it has certain uses in magic because it has a dense and very consistent and predictable crystalline structure. So it's a good way to store information or magical inscriptions or that sort of thing.
Where'd you get that?
And as you all look at it, you suddenly hear a voice in your head and say, oh, there it is! Huh, it worked! Why is it broken?
Terracus, you and me are gonna have a little talk later.
It was in the chest. You could have taken it. You didn't.
Wasn't valuable.
Clearly.
Grief.
Clearly. But Zerasa, my friend, tell me about this. What is it? Why?
You're
what
not
is
off the
broken?
hook, Vitericus, by the way.
Oh yes. We'll get there, my lord.
Well, this is the soul vessel. This was what I was supposed to go into, and I guess it worked. And then because can you hold it up, please, so you can look at yeah, show me those lines on the inside. Oh yeah, that's
I'll pick it up.
oh, that's so pretty. It worked. 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 Why did
But-
it explode?
Yes, it didn't work as intended, did it?
Why did you want to
Instead.
be a cube?
Oh, I didn't.
It's a nice rock.
This is your animancy, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, I'm one of the. Well, apparently this is what people say. I'm one of the greatest animancers in the world, but I just do things. It's fun, you see. So
Oh, no, I understand. I understand.
no, you see the soul, the vessel, the cube, the soul vessel. It's a temporary state. It's, you see, here's the thing. When you're transferring a soul from one dynamic vessel to another, the soul doesn't like it. It likes being tethered to where it came from. So if you want to transfer it to a new viable dynamic vessel, while the old one is still intact, it gets conflicted. It gets confused. And so many experiments gone wrong. I eventually figured out that what you need to do is transfer it from a dynamic vessel to a static vessel. So you get a permanent imprint of the soul. Then you can discard with the old dynamic vessel, the body, and then you can take it from the static vessel into a new dynamic one. This makes sense, doesn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. So this is quite different from a necromantic soul transfer. This is different.
Eyes pointing in opposite directions at this point.
You hear, oh,
I feel like Dagmar and Morzod exchange a look.
Yep, absolutely.
I suppose some people would call it necromancy. We call it psychomancy or animancy, depending on who you talk to. There's a lot of argument about which is the better language route to choose. But look, see, the thing is, I wasn't meant to stay in the cube. I was only, I'd go into the cube and then I'd be put into the body, the new body. But there's no new body here, and I still don't know exactly where I am or where my friend is, Emperor Zun.
Wonderful. My friend, I heard you asking about the cataclysm before. I assume somebody told you about that?
Yes.
No.
Oh no.
What is the cataclysm? Did something happen to the Empire? Is my friend okay?
Can we talk all at once, or this is getting really annoying?
Oh, yes. You hear something almost snap in your heads, and all of a sudden you're all on the same channel, so to speak, in that you can... There's almost a moment of feedback where when you speak for a moment, you actually hear the thoughts forming as the words come out.
Oh Lord, voice jamming ourselves. Oh.
But she says,
My worst
yes.
nightmare come true.
So this is what I worked it out. I'm sort of acting as sort of a conduit, almost like a translator. So I'm carrying your thoughts to each other, but only the conscious ones that you're about to speak anyway. So I don't, because people seem to get worried about reading minds and that sort of thing. I may have, made a few enemies, but look, so you can do that. We can do that now. I can't do it all the time, and I do get tired very quickly. I might even need to take a nap again soon. But yeah, so that's where we are. Please tell me what happened to my friend.
How long was your friend expected to live? What is the life expectancy in your empire?
Oh, well, I mean, we're humans like you, and he'd managed to extend it to a bit over 300 years, but we were running out of options, you see. And you see, I had this idea where, you see, I've been fascinated by constructs all my life, and I had this idea where if you could build a construct, a golem that was as good or even better than a human body, then you could put someone's soul into that, and then they could live forever. and be even better than they were. But he was a bit nervous about the idea, so he wanted me to test it, and I decided to test it on myself. And that's the last thing that I remember.
Wonderful. Well, if, as I'm inferring from context clues in the rest of our conversation, or your conversation with others, that was pre-Cataclysm, my friend, that was almost 800 years ago.
There's a very long silence.
Boy.
And eventually... Okay...
That's yeah. Sorry.
So... Right.
I will think everything that I read in the book about the Genote Empire.
Says, oh, well, that bit's wrong.
Well, was that accurate? I would love to take notes if you.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
a really rare source.
Oh, yeah, of course. But Emperor
Yeah.
Zun, he didn't survive the cataclysm. I didn't get him his new body in time. I'm sorry, I need to take a nap now.
No, that's all right.
And
Like
the
you
voice
should take your time.
the voice goes quiet again.
That's
Well, we're in a sticky wicket. I don't know how much of the conversation you heard that I had with him before. None, I assume. But basically what's happened is that his soul has been split into 4 parts, and now each of us have a part in our bodies.
Yeah, we all heard that
Oh,
side.
good. Yes.
Now you have context.
So
Yeah, I'm concerned.
we have leads on unsticking that.
I don't know anything about animancy. It's like a, is it a dead magic? Like no one really uses animancy in the contemporary world, do they? Or
Largely because it is very much frowned upon and essentially forbidden by the Academy, because there's seen as no... There are very few implementations of animancy that are purely beneficial. It almost always comes at the price of someone else's soul.
think of, I guess what he was talking about was almost like a manufactured lichdom, which is incredible. Like inorganic lichdom.
What you do remember, actually, is that the ascendancy of Tarth, which is the modern magocracy that are known to be slavers and have absolutely no limit on what is acceptable magic to study, they would routinely use soul cages of a kind to trap other people's souls, to draw power from them, to draw life and so forth. So they're not at all above the idea of essentially torturing souls in order to extend their own lives.
They were the lads that got thrown out of this place, weren't they?
Yes, they used to
Yeah,
run
yeah.
this place.
That was explained, yeah, earlier.
Whereabouts was the Genote Empire?
Before the Cataclysm, it was somewhere in the world. Post-Cataclysm, everything in the world was split up and scattered all over the place. So parts of the Genote Empire have been dug up all around the world.
Some Atlantis business going on.
Well, I'm wondering if the location in the past has anything to do with the location now. This is sort of temporal magic. I don't know.
There is no reference in what you read of any of the actual imperial buildings having been discovered. It's mainly only found sort of some of a few settlements, a few sort of villas that are referring to the Genote Empire, rather than any of the main important buildings.
Compared to other historical, I guess, pre-cataclysm kingdoms and empires, I know that is Genote considered like probably the most advanced that was there, or
One of the most advanced, yes.
one of the most advanced?
Yeah.
And from now on, Arvatericus, if you find an artifact, don't put it in your pocket.
Well, it wasn't an artifact at that point, was it?
You
And
are
I'm going to pick it up
unbelievable.
and put it back in my pocket.
You absolutely not. I think I was the last person holding it to hold up to him. I'm not giving it back to you.
Oh, well, I
It's
will
property
expect...
of... No, it's property of society now.
Well, I will expect fair and commensurate compensation for my discovery of this artifact on behalf of the Coruscant Academy.
How about I don't turn you into a frog? How about I do that?
I mean, you could try if you like.
I have to
Flick
ask,
him.
does Orsi have polymorph?
No, he doesn't know how to turn anybody into a frog.
Are you
Angry
sure?
enough, though.
I
Are
will
you
open
sure
my
your
gold
mental
pouch.
capacities are quite up to the challenge?
Yeah, they're not, because I have to hang around you, and now you're in my head all day, all the time, which is
Put
great.
your
Laced
wands
with-
away, boys. It's only pyrite.
Just
I will,
enough vicious mockery to sting, but not enough to damage.
I will open my coin pouch and flick him a gold coin.
Ooh.
Wonderful.
You
See?
overvalued it.
Was
That's
that so
fine.
hard? Thank you, my lord.
Like pulling teeth with Baterigus.
The
Also, real quick, sorry, while I have detect magic, can I detect that wand that we got ages ago? I forgot I had it.
yes, it's not a wand. You've cast detect magic on it previously. You worked out that it's
Oh, sorry,
not
identify.
identify. Yep, it's immovable rod.
Oh, wonderful.
Which I guess you know what. I'm assuming you know what that is.
We don't have a paladin, it's fine.
I'm familiar with the immovable rod, yeah.
Cool. Whether you explain what it can do to your fellow party members is up to you.
I mean, this might benefit someone else. Does anyone want to hang on to this? It's an immovable rod.
Batericus's eyes
What's
light
it
up.
worth?
I'm going to hang on to this for now. I'm going to put it back in my bag. Unbelievable.
See, if a paladin replaces the stick in his butt with an immovable rod, he becomes unstoppable.
If we ever meet up with the paladin, I'll be sure to let him know.
Wonderful. Now, where is this Archmage? I feel like we've been waiting here for...
Just on
Ages.
cue, the halfling returns with Archmage, what you presume to be Archmage Radar Shakor. He's a very tall human, over 6 feet, so maybe 6'3", 6'4". He's wearing Orsi, what you immediately recognize as Archmage's robes. Is, I am the boss of this place.
Wow, very deep bow from Orsi.
Yeah, very stern face. Sort of, he's got sort of a Bill Nye look about him. An elder, older man, very sort of stern look about him, and he says, I understand that the four of you have had an accident while on our campus. I do apologize for any inconvenience caused. Master Headstrong here tells me that you are experiencing some strange side effects, possibly magical in nature. Is that correct?
I ain't never had a building explode at me before.
Yes, I do apologize.
Archmage. That is correct. We have quite a bad ringing in our ear.
We are attempting to determine the cause of this explosion and whether there is anything we can do to help with your ailment, as also the nature of any such ailment. So any information you could provide would be of great use to us.
Well, I mean, the only thing I can think of is what land was the school built on? Built on top of any sort of artifacts that possibly hadn't been
You're-
uncovered?
Breaking up there a little, April.
Oh, am I? Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Cool. Sorry, I live in the middle of nowhere. Cool. Yeah, was the school built on anything perhaps volatile that you hadn't discovered, perhaps hidden by some sort of magical shell, or...
No, of course not. We went through all of the appropriate measures when determining an appropriate site for the school when it was founded 50 years ago.
Of course. Oh. I mean, other than that, I don't really have any leads myself. Apologies, Archmage.
Indeed. And whatever ailment has struck us seems to have passed, so I think we're fine. Thank you for your concern, Archmage.
I did drop a book on Dagmar. She might need a little bit of looking at. I do apologize.
A bandage would be fine. And then I think we're good to go.
Master Headstrong goes in and inspects Dagmar's head, looks at him and says, you're fine.
It was an encyclopedia.
All right. And she sort of does the thing where Dagmar gets you to sort of look at the finger, follow with her eyes. Yeah, does the whole concussion test thing, basically. She says, you're fine. You know, you can sleep it off, I think.
She needs a drink.
I did lose a constitution point. I'm feeling very weak.
And the Archmage says, well...
Medicinal fire whiskey.
And he looks at the halfling and says, but you said they had some kind of psychic episode?
Oh, he had a headache. Git hasn't had any to drink either. Is there any ale anywhere? In this
Okay.
I think it could be some sort of like resonant after effects of the magical explosion. There was definitely a magical essence to the explosion, yes.
My medical experience would seem to confirm that particular theory. I suspect it is an aftershock of the initial explosion.
I'm going to need a group deception check, so I need everybody to roll deception for me, please.
What am I deceiving? I just need a drink.
Oh, nat 20! What's up?
Oh, hi.
6.
18 for
baby
Terracus.
dog.
16 here.
Okay, that averages out to a success. So it says, all right, very well. Well, I'm sorry to have possibly wasted your time. You are, of course, free to go, as you have always been. If you have any further symptoms of any kind, please come back. We are at your disposal.
Right, yes. Thank you for your time. Sorry for wasting your time, Archmage.
He nods curtly and turns and leaves. And the halfling looks at you all and says, there's something going on here, isn't there? It's more than you're telling me.
I don't know what you mean.
Fine. Go. Get out. If you don't want my help.
Can I still use the library?
Yeah, sure.
Wonderful. Thank you. I guess we should leave.
Now, Morzod, my friend, it feels like we should go and get you a drink.
I'm thinking we might just need to do that.
I have to go with you. I don't have a choice, do I?
Looks like you're going bar hopping with us, my lord.
Dagmar gives Orsi a little pat on the arm.
I was going to say, you can't reach my shoulder, maybe.
Yeah, it's sort of elbow.
Yeah. Better than a bum pat.
Don't touch my robes, please.
Dagmar's very respectable.
Alrighty, so I guess we're
looking for an inn. Pub?
Yeah,
if we are going to find a bar or an inn, if we could maybe have one by the ocean. That's my one request, if possible.
You did notice a fairly posh-looking one up here in the Civic District, not far from the Academy.
That one sounds good.
Alright, look, I don't mind where. I just need a drink.
Wait, actually, maybe that's... Hang on, maybe that's not a good idea. If it's posh, it's going to be full of wizards, and I don't really think we should be around too many other magical people right now.
And you know that it's so close to the school, it's probably going to be where the students drink.
It's where all the students go, that's of course.
Oh boy, the uni bar.
I don't want to go. I don't think we should be around a lot of other magic users right now.
But Morzod, you would know that there are definitely going to be multiple taverns, pubs, bars, all kinds of drinking holes in a city of this size.
Yeah. Well, we could, why don't we go find Connie? Because I bet she knows somewhere. And we can apologize to her, ma'am. And we'll start with that.
What time is it, by the way? What time of the day?
It's now getting on to about 11 in the morning.
Okay. I mean, sure. I don't really see why we need to go and see her, but all right.
Don't know if we should take a 14-year-old to a bar.
I was thinking that. Look, there's a line in the sand that's been drawn, and I feel like we're stepping over it a little bit.
I feel like she's probably having a good rest.
It's 11 in the morning. Maybe
She
has
spent the night in a literal hole.
Exactly. Yeah, those anti-magic cages are no joke.
That was nasty. You seen them before, Ozzy?
Of course. All the
Yeah.
major academies have one.
One thing you know about them, Orsi, is that not only do they have the capacity to nullify all magic within that small space, when active, it also nullifies all sound. So she was sitting in absolute silence all night. You know, not even, there wouldn't even have been scratching or echoes or anything like that.
I explained that to the group, how horrible it is in one of those cages.
Ugh.
I think she's probably having a well-deserved hug from her mother, and I think we should leave her to that hug.
Mm-hmm.
Bloody hope so.
Well, plus we don't know where she lives, right?
Also that.
None of us have made it to
Yeah,
her.
we started getting that headache before we got there, eh?
Morzod, can you give me Morzod and Viterikas, give me a history check, please. You're
History. Oh, Lord.
the two who might know this.
That's an 8.
Yeah, mine's a 7.
Okay, carry on.
No clue. I still got this headache. I'm not.
Oh, I
feeling
have just a quick question. Who is that lady who was helping us again? Her name?
The
The
angry
last lady?
halfling.
The
angry
Angry
halfling?
Halfling, Master Headstrong.
Headstrong, that's it.
Yep.
That's the one I was missing.
Yeah,
Master-
Mathan Headstrong, Mathan.
Mathan, Headstrong. Yeah, look, if we could find an inn or something, I need to sit down somewhere quiet for an hour. If we could do that.
Yeah, why don't we walk towards the tourist district and pick somewhere?
Alright,
Sure.
we'll find somewhere.
I don't really want to, like, cast a spell in public. So,
Alright, so we're all wandering now, are we?
I suppose we're gonna go look for an inn.
Back
Cool.
towards, yeah.
Is there like a help
Yeah,
desk at the
where's our
Corsican
key?
Academy?
Beach Market, Westgate, All Gods Promenade.
So,
Number 9 was Civic.
Morzod, as the drinking hole expert, just tell me, what kind of establishment are you looking for? Are you guiding the party towards? And I'll tell you where it is in the city.
Look, I think probably Morzod would be thinking of Aussie and probably not going to go for a place called, the Cock and Plucker or something.
Just as long as it's near the ocean, I don't care.
Probably like the sort of place where travelers would be setting down for, so somewhere sort of middle ground, not super shabby, but also not super classy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, two places seem to stand out to you. The first one you notice is in Arena Square, where there are a number of interesting buildings surrounding it. It is not exactly a touristy place, but it is the kind of place where they expect people to come through and maybe throw a bit of money around. There's you can see there's a place selling traveller supplies. There's an apothecary. There's a museum of natural wonders. This is also where you see Zoot's maps. It seems to be where you can buy maps of the area. There's also a rather fancy-looking, slightly posh inn, which you are certain will have, will provide food and drink. The main thing that occurs to you is that it might be a bit expensive compared to some of the other places in town. The alternative is that as you vaguely remember from when you first walked into the city, there is a place a bit further to the left, just going to ping it on the map, that from the outside
Put
looked...
me there if you need me to, if you need to mark it.
Yeah, we'll do that actually.
Yeah. I'm useful.
That is that looked a bit more sort of upper working class. It's not the kind of, you're not going to be getting bar fights and rowdy arguments and anything like that, but it looks like more the kind of place where people will just go and, blow off some steam after a hard day's work.
Honestly, Mozart would go for that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll move you all as a group, because
Yeah.
you don't have an alternative.
Because we're all staying within arm's reach.
And you find yourselves walking into the Snowdrift Inn. And here we'll take a short break. And we're back. We've all had a short break. And our characters are taking a short break in the Snowdrift Inn, a small tavern on just a little bit to the west of Arena Square in the city-state of Providence. So as your characters step inside, the air is thick with the usual smells that you get in a place like this. You've got the ale, you've got various smokes, you've got pipe weed and all of the usual stuff. Nothing that would strike any of you as illicit, but all quite usual smells for this kind of establishment. There are a dozen tables around the place. There are also some stairs that lead up to the upper floor. It's usual for a place like this to maybe have some sleeping rooms to sleep in upstairs. As you step in, you see a standing behind the bar. There is a being of a kind that I don't think any of you would have seen before. They appear to be like an anthropomorphic bird. This is an Aarakocra, specifically one who is owl-like in appearance, like a white barn owl or something like that. A strangely six-limbed creature. You've got the big white wings that are folded behind the back, but also two arms with fingers that are almost like the talons on an owl's claws. But it's just got a mug in one hand, a rag in the other, is giving it a good polish. Looks around at you. The head just turns around almost 180 degrees as you come in, and says, "Hello, friends. Why don't you come on in, please? Welcome to the Snowdrift Inn. Come on in. And you can see they're actually gesturing with their wings as they continue to polish the mug.
Mozart sees mug and towel, and that's a barkeep, so that's fine. Yep. In he walks, and he says, "Yeah, hello. We're looking for lodgings and drinks."
Certainly, please seat yourself anywhere. In terms of lodgings, is it for the four of you, or one room, or do you want separate rooms, or what's the situation?
Oh God.
Mozart would have answered, but he kind of looks askance because.
Aussie's disassociating a little. He's not paying attention to you.
Okay. Have you got rooms that are nearby? We just have them close.
Next to each other?
I'll
have to check. I'm not sure at the moment. Leave that with me. I'll get back to you. If you'd like to find a table, somebody will be out to take any orders you have. We're coming up to lunchtime, so the lunch menu is available now.
Glory. All right.
Tall is this barkeep?
Fairly tall, about 6 feet.
I was gonna say, it'd be real tall compared to you.
I'm just staring at him in awe.
Large owl-like being. All right. Now I imagine that every single one of the dark corners has a brooding anti-hero in it already. So we just go for somewhere sort of central-ish or towards the edge.
There is one.
Feeling?
There is a brooding corner currently unoccupied.
Ooh.
Do any of you?
Brooding corner.
All right. Do any of you guys want to go and brood?
Yes, please. I have a lot of brooding feelings.
All right, brooding corner it is. You just elbow an emo guy out of the way and shove him across here. Sorry, I'm not sitting on your cape. All right.
as we settle in and start looking at the lunch menu, I'm going to lean over and not whisper, but quietly mention to Dagmar, I'm going to be looking to make some coin while we're here.
Mhm.
That means that hopefully there are going to be some people with their eyes on me and not their purse strings, if you would like to liberate some of them from their money.
I am listening to this and taking that fact in.
Wonderful. Well, I myself am no thief. I don't take anything that is not freely given. But if some were to go missing over the course of my performances, that can only be good for our little band of adventurers.
I will consider it a charity event.
Wonderful. We understand each other perfectly. And as we're looking over the menus and sort of generally engaging in Strider-esque brooding, I'm going to be listening for names of people and just pieces of information that I might be able to use later on from unguarded conversations had at pubs.
Okay, let's make it an investigation check
Investigation.
to try and...
Oh, good.
Because there's sort of voices all around you. Let's see if you can sort of filter through them to get anything interesting.
Yes, I'm just seeing.
Is it a round table that we're sitting at, or?
It's a round table, yeah.
Okay. Who's sitting to my left? I need to know.
It's up to you.
Who's sitting on my
Me.
left?
I'll
Okay.
sit on your left.
All right.
That's a 4 for the investigation.
Oh,
Okay. Not much. You hear
a bit
some
noisy.
you hear a bit of complaining about some mage guy, but that's it.
Seems fair.
Somebody who bought a really bad load of copper. All right, so we're looking at drinks. We're having a look at the menu. What is on the menu? We've got probably a lot of fish.
There is, yes, a lot of fish, but there is also there is some meat. There is various a few cuts of pork and bacon. You also notice that there is sort of like a chalkboard which says that they currently have diprotodon steak in stock, and you get the impression that it's not something they have every day.
Yeah. So hang on a minute. Let's actually figure out who's around the table. So we've got Aussie, and then Morsey, and then who's next on the left? Who's sitting on the other side of me? Dagmar?
I expect so.
All right. Which
Actually,
means,
maybe I've sat between Austin and
honestly,
Ericus.
Vivian, yeah, maybe they're
You're on my right. And
so they can
Moses on my left.
gaze into each other's eyes.
Wonderful.
Or stare daggers, as the case may be.
Suspect they are avoiding each other's.
Oh no, Videricus is quite happy with an uncomfortable stare, so
Yeah, flourishing.
all grins.
As you're uncomfortably staring at each other, a voice enters your head. Yeah. It smells like barracks in here.
Oh,
At least I think I'm
back.
smelling. That must be your senses. Yeah. Okay, so I've had a nap. I've had a think. And I think that the best thing to do would be to finish the experiment. So this would be good for me, it'd be good for you. And you see, what we need to do is, if we can find my laboratory, then we can use my instruments there to get my soul out of each of you and put it into the vessel that it was supposed to come from. There should be a spare soul vessel there. I had 4 prepared, so I should be able to put myself into one of those, which you can then move into the construct that I had prepared, assuming it's still there.
Yeah, one little problem, Zarasa. After the cataclysm, your kingdom was sort of split apart all over the entire world. I have no idea where your laboratory is, friend.
Well, it's probably wherever the soul vessel was that did this to you.
Here.
I mean, we found a rock where we found the square thing was with our stuff.
Hmm.
Suspect it's where the Academy recovered it from, though, yes?
Oh, they could have brought it up.
Yes.
Also, you know that if there was an archaeological dig in the area that was digging up a Ginault site, then the Academy would be very interested in learning about any magical artifacts or objects that came out of it, because the Ginault do have a reputation of practicing animancy and other illegal magics. Then the Academy would want to make sure that anything potentially dangerous could be secured before it got into the hands of someone, a group like the Collectors or someone like that.
I assume the society would also be quite interested in something like that as well.
There is, obviously, there's an academy school. There's probably also a branch of the society somewhere in the area.
Okay.
Yeah, Dag, what do you reckon the Diprodidon is?
I would love to eat it. I don't know what it is,
Like, try it out.
but I would.
Yeah, that is.
For clarity's sake, on the chalkboard under the word Diprodidon stake, it has a little drawing that you
got a picture just in case you didn't.
that you sort of vaguely represents the very large creature, Dagmar, that you saw and guided
It's
the
the thing
party
I saw on the
around.
road.
What, the thing, the big thing?
Oh,
Yes.
they eat them.
Whoa,
That's
they're gonna eat it.
disgusting. Ooh.
Yes, I would love to taste it.
Whoa,
Yes.
are you alright?
Now, Zerasa, my friend, if we're going to do that for you,
Hello.
you're going to have to do something for me
Okay.
right now, I guess. Consider it a buy-in to this whole thing, and we'll move forward from there depending on how well this goes. I need you to provide me with, let's say, 2 pieces of information around pre-cataclysm life. What can you
Yes,
tell me about
terrible.
life before the cataclysm?
Well, we generally slept for 8 hours or so a night. We'd eat food. We'd drink.
Drink. What'd you drink? What'd you have?
There was wine and water. I mostly had water in my wine because otherwise wine gave me headaches. Let's see. We had a sun in the sky. I think I saw that still up there. That's good. 2 moons.
2? Still 2? Two.
I don't know. Is that enough? Is that what you need?
Perhaps more cultural information, things you could tell me about life as a collective of people.
Life. But I'm only one person. I haven't become a collective of people until now, I guess.
I don't think
Not
he has a frame of
specifically you.
reference to Terracus.
But tell me about your empire's culture. What was
Oh
art?
well,
What
I
was
mostly let my friend Emperor Zun worry about that sort of thing. I just focused on my work.
You keep saying friend. Were you too close?
Yeah, he was my best friend, my only friend, I guess. But you see, I've never really had a lot of friends. But he was really nice. He listened to me and he encouraged me to try things, and he kept giving me things to play with and to come up with new ideas. He was really nice. I miss him.
Sounds alright.
Well, there's some information in there that I might be able to use.
By the way, Orsi, from what you've read, nothing suggests that any emperor of the Ginault Empire could ever be reasonably described as nice.
Yeah, no, I get that. While he's talking, I want to take out one of my spare books and start writing a letter to my dude at the society.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna spend that time doing that.
Wonderful.
Just roughly, what are the contents of the letter?
I'm going to ask him if he could research on where is it?
Sort of potential Ginault digs in
Yeah,
the
you
area?
know,
Yeah,
yeah.
cool.
You know, in the area, I also want to know if he's ever heard of a person called Zurasa, a famous animancer called Zurasa, or anything else on Emperor Zune, or soul transfers, anything like that. Just anything he can find.
Cool, no problem.
I also want to write a letter to.
I was gonna say, get that angry letter from your dad.
No, that was all hot air. He wouldn't get, his dad wouldn't give a shit. I want to write a letter to Bracken as well. Just see how he is.
Okay.
Yeah. Just hey, what's up? How you doing?
Cool. So the one to the society, you know, the society must have a branch somewhere in town, so you could probably flag someone down in the inn to run it over to them if you felt like spending a little coin on it.
Yeah. Is it like a? I mean, we're in a bar. Is there anyone who would do that? Is it like a messenger looking someone, or like a child, a Timmy?
It's probably something you'd ask the tavern keep about.
All right. Well, while these chuckleheads are talking, I'm gonna go get up and speak to the
Cool.
tavern. Owl
Yep.
cocker.
So, you see the owl cockra working away. Yes. Hello. What can I help you with?
Hi. Do you have anyone who could run a letter?
Oh, certainly. I could get one of the staff here to do that. It's local, I assume. I don't want them
Yes.
running to Kwatel or anything like that.
No. Do you happen to know if there's a local branch of the society here?
Oh, yes. I believe they're somewhere in Arena Square.
Arena Square. Wonderful. Just to there would be fine.
Oh, yes, certainly. That'll be. I'll have someone come out. They'll ask you for a little bit of coin. It shouldn't be too much, I imagine. Yeah.
No problem. Thank you.
Is there anything else I can get for you? You seem to be new in town. Is that right?
Ah, yes, we arrived just the other day. I'm part of the academy as well as the society. So
Yes, I did see. Yeah. Well, I saw your robes and your badge. It's quite impressive. It's as much to do around town and certainly around the island of Keldrith for people interested in ancient history and so forth.
Yes, I'm very excited to be here. What was your name, by the way?
I am Sath.
Seth.
S-A-T-H.
S-A-T-H. Seth. I'll look at. My name's Orsu.
Oh, wonderful to meet you.
Yes, pleasure to make your acquaintance. I did wonder, you wouldn't happen to have anything a little less meat heavy on the menu at all, do you? Maybe salad.
Oh, yes, certainly. I have I have a provider. I can get you whatever fresh fruit and vegetables you would like. Would you like a fancy tossed salad or something like that, or something?
Fancy tossed salad would be wonderful. Thank you.
Certainly, I shall see to it immediately.
Wonderful. I'll just be over there.
Excellent. My turn to go up to the bar then. I will ask Dagmar and Morzod if they, or what they want, if they know what they want drink-wise.
Yes, I will take a whiskey.
Wonderful. Neat with ice?
Neat is good. Do you have any money left? I thought you gave it all to the flower girl.
Oh no, I have plenty left. Remember, we got paid handsomely for exploring that zombie boat.
Oh, yes.
Well, somewhat handsomely. We got paid sufficiently for doing that.
Previously on AntipoDnD, the party explored a zombie boat.
It's true.
So much has happened in the last 3 days that it's a little hard to remember.
It can be. It's true. Morzod, do you know what you would like?
Let's have whatever local ale they got.
Wonderful. So I will go up and I will order the local ale. I will order a neat whiskey. I will order something ridiculous for me. Some kind of wonderfully flamboyant cocktail.
I'll have Shirley Temple with
Basically,
With like an apple tea.
Yeah. And while I'm there, I will say, and I'll collect the bartender's name, just because I doubt Aussie would have necessarily revealed that to the group, and say, well, Sath, my friend, what can you tell me about the town? What can you tell me about the people who come here?
Oh, that's such a broad-ranging question. Everybody comes through Providence. Everyone who comes to Wandering Isles come through here at some point.
Wonderful. Excellent. And who visits your establishment? Would you say mostly adventurers, mostly workers?
Oh, a bit of both. We do have the occasional adventurers, yes. I must say, you four sort of have that look to me. Is that right? Are you adventurers passing through town looking for excitement out beyond the walls?
I couldn't possibly say, I am afraid, my friend.
Of course,
Some
I
of us,
understand.
maybe. Excellent.
But
Wonderful.
yes, we do have, it is mostly local workers who come through here, maybe looking for a bite to eat at lunchtime or to blow some steam after work.
Wonderful. And so tell me, Seth, are you opposed to a little bit of, shall we say, performative theatre in your establishment?
And, one owl eye goes, very large and one is very small. And Seth says, what exactly did you have in mind?
Well,
Does it
I
involve a
suspect-
dog?
it might do. My apologies. Found a bottle and is crushing it. Apologies.
Oh, that's so cute.
Bless.
Woof.
Apologies. So, what did I have in mind? Well, which I guess I could perhaps open with next time I introduce myself to someone, but I am a soothsayer. I commune with the spirits from beyond. And I am happy to provide that service for others, particularly for others in a large group of people, and would be willing to share a cut of the profits with you for hosting such an event at an establishment as prestigious as this.
Seth's head is tilted farther than mine can go in a very owl-like way. I say, it is very interesting. Can you give me a persuasion check, please?
Quite possibly. Let's have a look. Persuasion. That is at 20, non-natural.
Whew. Wow, okay. He says, this is not exactly a dinner theatre kind of place. We don't normally provide entertainment. It is mostly for people who wish to be left alone, but we might be able to set something up sometime. Probably not today, because there's been no notice given, but you intrigue me. We might be able to do something.
Wonderful. Well then, I look forward to continuing our discussions. Thank you very much. And I will collect the drinks, turn to the table, and quietly signal to Dagmar, or quietly whisper to Dagmar, not today, but soon.
Butts.
Yes, my apologies. There may be other opportunities today, but not here.
Yeah, not that one.
Noted.
Wonderful. Oh, I didn't order any food. Oh well, that's fine.
We'll assume that you get your drinks, you order some food, you have a good, much welcome meal after what has been a rather trying evening and morning. It's the first really good meal you've had in a long time. You're all feeling
Really
much
long
better
time.
after eating
Since
it.
Shipwreck.
You don't get your missing attribute point back, though, but you are
Still
just
grumpy.
you are feeling more like yourself, at least, after finishing the meal.
Oh, well, that's nice, isn't it?
What was that? Did you say something?
I said, "Is your leaves good?"
Oh, yes, wonderful, thank you.
It was fairly good. They were very fresh fruit and vegetables. You think there might have still been some dirt on them, like they'd been collected just for you.
Wonderful.
Oh, nice.
Very fresh.
Wonderful. One of the other things I might like to do as I float around is find some people who are potentially open to a conversation while they're at the bar or something like that, and see if I can fish out any collectors' information. Of
Okay.
the organizations around the place, the guys who tend to run counter to the Society for Historical Preservation.
Give me an investigation roll, please.
Ooh, another one. What fun. That's a natural 20 for a 21.
Oh, wow. Yep. There is a... the collectors are in Providence. They're not... you get the impression that they're not generally welcome in Providence, especially since the Academy and the Society have an established presence here. So they generally try to keep under the radar, so to speak. But the word is that if you ask around the right places, certainly somewhere down near the docks, you might eventually find the right people to talk to.
Wonderful. I come back to the table with a slight pep in my step.
Oh, did I ever get a runner for my letter?
Yes, so you've sent that off, and the runner actually comes back. One of they appear to be one of the wait staff who was very happy to just get out of the building for a little while and stretch their legs. And they say, "Excuse me, sir. Spoke to gave you a letter over. Don't know what was in it, but they read it in front of me and said that if you come over now, then they can speak to you straight away."
Oh, really? Oh. To read in front of someone, but sure, wonderful. Thank you so much. How much did you want for that?
Look, 5 copper.
I'll give him a gold. Generous today.
And he goes, "Thanks, sir. That's thank you. Happy to be of service."
Don't spend it on my place.
Goes back to work.
Look at you splashing your money around. Ooh. Sorry.
Don't
I
ruin this
was
tavern.
gonna say, is that a bar fight?
Okay, so you finish up, you settle up, and I will say it just came to, food and drinks all together came to about 4 silver each.
Fine. Seth.
And the rooms?
Yeah, rooms. Did we talk about rooms?
Yes, Seth looked into it. There are no spare rooms directly next to each other. There is a room that could take 4 of you. There are separate rooms that can take 2 of you or 1 each even. They would come to, essentially it's 1 gold per room or 2 gold for the room that can take all 4 of you.
I mean, how close do we need to be? We haven't really done science to it.
We haven't.
Same building seems fine though, right?
Vitericus and Orsi, you remember that you walked a fair distance. So if you look at the map, you'd made your way past...
We're a long way away.
Yeah, you'd made your way past the sky docks by the time you started to feel off.
So probably...
So you think if you're all in the same
building.
Yeah, if you're all in the same building, you're probably close enough to be fine.
Okay.
Alright, separate rooms it is then.
Please.
I think if we're mind locked, it would be nice to have a room each. Just to get a little space.
Yep.
Agreed.
Separate rooms, yo. Now where do I press a button for that? It's equipment, I think.
2 gold for the 4-bedroom, or for the 4-bedroom, right?
Yep.
I'm going to rent that one.
Okay.
He just wants the... Alrighty. Where's the money though? Currency, there it is. So, gold minus 1.
Normally I would just leave, but I can't. I need to go to the society.
And we gotta go with him.
Better pitch it.
Onward
What?
to the society.
Look, Mozart's happy. He's had a drink. It's all good.
Wonderful. Guess we head
Right.
to the society.
We're
What
heading
time of
to
day
the
is it? Sorry, just past lunch, did you say?
Yeah, it's getting
Yeah.
up to about 12:30 in the afternoon.
Okay.
Gee,
So
they were
with
brisk in
your-
that pub.
With your lodgings arranged, you head back to Margaret Square, which you now know to be roughly where the society has a branch. It's not immediately obvious to you as you look around, but you do eventually find their symbol on a rather unremarkable door between two fancier-looking buildings. And you know, Orsi, that the society is largely based on the generosity of various benefactors, because it's effectively a not-for-profit organisation. So there's always a question mark over how well financed any particular branch is going to be. This one doesn't look particularly impressive. But as you go through, there's nobody guarding the door or anything like that. You can all just walk on in. And
You can all wait outside, actually.
I was going to say, can I set up somewhere outside on a fantasy soapbox?
If you can find a soapbox,
Magic soap.
give me a perception check.
Seems like as long as we're in the general vicinity of each other, we're going to be fine. So.
Yes, that's what it seems to me. That's a 12 to find
Yep.
a fantasy soapbox.
The good thing is this looks like it's actually a fairly common place for people to do that sort of thing. There aren't soapboxes per se, but there are actually they're not gallows exactly, but they're sort of raised wooden platforms which seem to be specifically designed as stages, essentially, for people to stand on and orate in front of the theatre, in front of the arena. So you do find one.
Wonderful. I'm going to set up on one of those and see what kind of crowd I can draw.
And I'm going to casually hang back and look like I might be interested in watching some entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to loiter. Because
Not
that's...
suspicious at all, you three. Good job.
Yep.
So, Orsi, you head on up into the society building, and yeah, it probably would have been a bit cramped with the four of you in there. It is little more than just a what we'd consider a small office space, in a way. Just one person at a desk, shelves, drawers, cabinets of scrolls, books, information, a handful of sort of display cases behind them that seem to be showing a few ancient artifacts that are probably not magical in any way. The stuff they put up is basically, hey, look at this pretty thing we found.
Nice.
And yeah, there's one person working behind the desk wearing robes that are very familiar to you. They look up at you and say, "Oh, hello, I don't think I know you." It's a human male.
I'm Orsi Lichtenbroad. I'm from the Taurash branch, I suppose. I just arrived here the other day.
Oh, welcome to Providence, then.
Thank
Yes, is there anything I can help you with? Are you looking for information? You sent the letter. Right, okay.
It wasn't
So-
for you, but fine.
Yes, I'm sorry. Look,
Slow business.
yeah, look, to put it simply, I'm bored. I'm very bored. But your inquiry about Ginaut dig sites, there is one in town. We actually had a few items come through us. Would have been probably about 2 weeks ago, I think. It's a fairly recent dig, if that's what you're looking for.
Yes, it is.
I'm sure they're looking for more help at the moment.
Do you know what items came through?
Oh, not at the top of my head. I can look it up, though, if you'd like me to.
Yes, please.
Oh, I'll do that. With a short pause, he rummages through some paperwork and eventually comes up and says, "Okay, we've got... right, here we go. There was some swords, not in very good condition. Oh, there was one, looked like it might have been a wand, that went off to the academy. This was... oh yeah, a number of badly damaged scrolls. Seemed to just be information or no magic on them. There was that's right, this cube was like, it looked like it was meant to be a paperweight, but we sent that on to the academy just to be sure. That's it, I think. That's all we've had so far."
I see. Paperweights. Some damaged scrolls, was it? Interesting. A wand.
Yes, that's right.
Were the scrolls and the one was sent to the academy? I assume the scrolls were as well.
Now, once we determined that the scrolls weren't magical in nature, we've actually got them in one of the drawers over here. We're trying to interpret the language, but nobody's been able to really find a common marker for the Ginault language. So it's just going to sit in a drawer for a while, I think.
Right. I wouldn't be able to take a peek at them, would I? Take a couple of notes. I'm pretty good with
Yeah.
language.
Okay, I don't see why not.
Wonderful. I just want to take a look at them and just memorize as much as I can to try and explain to Zarasa later.
Yeah. Well, as you're looking at them, Zurasa goes, "Oh, I can read this."
Well, feel free to chime in. Wait, don't chime in.
This, but too late. She starts rattling, just reading it word for word for word, and it is just a list of supplies. It's an infantry stock list, and it seems to be very mundane stuff. It's food, it's drink, it's building materials. It is a proof of payment and supplies delivered, and that's it.
Right. Okay, swords, wands. Right, and whereabouts was the dig?
That's over. Yes, this is over at Mira's Reach. It's just on the edge of Val's Embrace there. Actually, just a little bit. I think I heard it's a bit inside.
Right.
I've not seen it myself, I'm afraid.
Val's Embrace. Right. Wonderful. Well, you've been so helpful. I suppose you wouldn't think you'd have any information on any more Ginault artifacts or any tone.
No, I'm afraid that's all we've had through here, at least to my knowledge. I've been here for about 5 years now.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, now you've been very helpful.
Okay.
I'll be back at some point. So.
Oh, great. Pleasure meeting you. Look, you find anything out there that you're not sure about that you think might be dangerous, you can send it through us. We'll pass it on to the academy, but you look like you'd be able to take it there yourself, so I'm sure you know how it works around here.
What was his name again? Did I ask? I forgot.
No, you did not. His name...
What was your name again?
His name is... Darnish. Darnish.
Darnish. And he is the... What would his title be?
Intern.
Coordinator.
Coordinator
Darnish.
And are there agents in the field as well, in the dig?
Yes, the dig is ongoing.
Oh, wonderful. Do you know how many would be there? How many society members would be there?
Off the top of my head, not many. I think it's probably only 3 or 4 at this point.
Right, and also, you wouldn't happen to know if the collectors are in this area?
Probably, I'm afraid, but I don't have any solid evidence of that.
Right. Well, I will be on the lookout.
Yes, please. If you hear anything, let us know.
Oh, at once. Thank you kindly. You've been very helpful.
My pleasure.
Wonderful.
Vitericus,
Meanwhile, on the soapbox.
tell us about your performance.
Well, just before I start, I'm going to pull out one of the rings that I bought. It seems like so very long ago, the explosion of a university ago, basically. And I'm going to cast Distort Value on it.
This is not a spell I'm familiar with.
Doubles the value of an object.
Cool.
By adding illusory flourishes or polish, reducing its perceived value by half. So I'm going to add some, what I think look like quite fetching pre-cataclysm maker's marks to the inside of the ring.
Cool.
And then I'm going to, and that lasts for 8 hours. And then I'm going to stand up and to no one in particular, hopefully to the crowds of people who are sort of moving past and through and around, launch into, I guess it's probably a pretty new spiel, but it's still got elements from the old practiced versions. Friends, fellow adventurers upon this great journey we call life. My name is Vitericus, and you do not know me, but your ancestors do, and they have called me here from the supercontinent of gold. I have fought gods to be here with you on this very afternoon, and I am here to find the one who will restore his family's glory, who will bring honor back to their name, and who will find the treasure, find the unique opportunities that await and that their ancestors are pointing me towards out in the wilderness of the Wandering Isles. Are you that person, or is it you? And as I'm talking, I'm also going to cast Silent Image. So I'm going to pull one of the shades that sort of follow me around out somewhat into visibility, into the material plane. So it's a... is this the one I want? Yes, it is.
How did I not guess that Distort Value is an Acquisitions Incorporated spell? It should be so obvious.
It's, yeah.
The image is purely visual. It isn't accompanied by sound, smell, or other sensory effects. But basically, I'm going to pull it out so that it's a vaguely humanoid shape, nothing specific necessarily. And basically as proof that the ancestors are speaking to me and they are looking for someone among the crowd. So I'm going to send it out among whatever crowd has gathered and have it stop at someone pretty much at random.
Well, give me a performance roll, please, to see what kind of crowd has gathered.
That's an 18.
18. Yeah, but you've got about a dozen people standing around and watching. It seems to be fairly common pastime here to see, okay, who's yelling in Arena Square today?
Excellent. Wonderful. So my silent image will move through the crowd, and it will stop in front of someone who looks like they have enough money to make this all worthwhile.
Okay, you've got a relatively there's a person in academy robes. Is that the kind of person you're looking for?
I'm probably looking for someone who might be willing to pay me and then run off into the jungle or run off into the wilderness looking for their fortune. So someone moneyed enough to pay me, but not so moneyed that they're going to go, oh, that's cool, and then do nothing with it.
Okay, you do see someone who has... she has the look of nobility about her, but she's not wearing a delicate floral gown or anything like that. She has the look of someone who is active and open to the idea of a bit of adventure. She's an elf with long braided hair. And she's...
Is that Lara Croft?
Why not? Her name is now Lara.
Wonderful.
I'm going to gasp convincingly.
Well, thank you. And so my silent image will stop in front of Lara, and I will point her out and go, you, ma'am, are you the one that I have been sent here to find? The one who I fought the aspect of... Who did I fight the aspect of? Who is our water critter?
Gamdanon.
Thank you. The one who I fought the aspect of Gamdanon.
Stage whisper.
Orsi's thoughts are bleeding into your mind.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. Just thinking it that hard, you idiot.
Are you the one whose ancestors have called me so far away from my home in gold out to here, to the edge of the very world?
She says,
now, ma'am... Sorry, you go.
She says, me? But how would that be possible?
Ma'am, you have not, or your family has not always lived out here on the Wandering Isles. Is that true?
That is true.
It is true, yes. Your ancestors from the continent of gold have communed with your ancestors here in the Wandering Isles. And they have passed information along to me that you are no mere minor nobility. You are descended from kings and queens. You are descended from the monarchies of the empires of old. You have the look of a pre-cataclysm glory about you. And I wish you to come up on the stage with me right now.
I think I need you to roll deception at this point.
Okay.
Or charm person.
I'm not going to cast.
It's kind of complicated because technically go back far enough and everybody's descended from royalty.
Correct.
Right, he's not lying, so...
But I think his intention is still to deceive at this point, so I need him to roll.
So, I have some fun things to say. The first thing is I rolled a 1. But
Nice.
the second thing I have to say is when I got to level 3, I got an ability called Silver Tongue.
Ooh.
When you make a Charisma Persuasion or Charisma Deception check, you can treat a d20 roll of 9 or lower as a 10. So I'm going to treat it as a 10 and roll a 17.
Oh, wow.
But it's
So-
nat 1 still a nat 1, no matter what. I guess that's
Yeah, I think in this case a nat 1 should still be a nat 1, but I'm not going to completely discount the minimum of 10. So it's going to be a bit of a mixed result.
He did come prepared for this.
So she says, ancient nobility and royalty. I knew it! He's been lying to me this whole time. I'm going to kill him. And she just runs off.
wow. As it
Oh.
known to be responsible for murder.
Well,
Won't be the first, I'm sure.
there are so many spirits that clamor for my attention and that have dragged me here from gold. Clearly, these ones have indeed found their mark, but there is another one here. One who was born to wear, and I hold up my distort value ring, one who was born to wear this ring and to go out and find their glory.
You hear her. Yeah, you feel like you've actually won the crowd over a bit with that last performance, even though it wasn't the outcome you hoped for. There is an audible "Ooh," as they look up at the ring, and somebody just yells out, 1 silver. Somebody else yells, 2 silver. There's a
What's your
pause.
best auction house?
Somebody says, all right, I'll give you 5 for it.
Oh, my friends, this ring is nearly priceless. It is from pre-cataclysm. Surely it is worth more than 5 silver.
Another deception check, please.
Absolutely.
Like Aussie's walked out of the building by now and he's watching.
Yep, this is about the time that Horsey emerges.
Can I give him advantage by speaking up and verifying the worth of this ancient ring?
I say, I'm a jewelry appraisal.
Well, she
Expert.
actually is. So,
I actually am.
yes.
I'm gonna pull an
Not even-
Antiques Roadshow.
Yeah, you could sort of say, here, let me see that.
I am affiliated with the ancient family of Goldenhammer, and this ring is indeed pre-cataclysm.
Yeah,
And
you're-
almost beyond worth.
Okay, Doug, with advantage, please.
21.
21.
Jeez.
It starts going up. 1 gold. 2 gold. All right, 5 gold.
My friend, are you the one the spirits have sent me here to find? My silent image wanders over and stands in front of the person who bid 5 gold. Who are they, by the way?
This is a dwarf.
Wonderful.
I slip immediately back into the crowd.
In which case, I will say, blessings of Dera Gandali to you, my friend. And indeed, it seems that you are the one who is to carry this ring forward for the glory of your family name. Come up
You're right.
and receive your reward.
Better be the real thing, but yeah, cool. All right, 5
Wonderful.
gold. Here you go.
And we exchange, and off we go.
And Orsi, you've just witnessed the end of this exchange.
Can I, while the crowd is still in place, can I do a quick check to see if anyone's got any easy accessible pockets?
Yeah, there's several pockets around, and certainly most of these people have been paying attention to Vitericus until you spoke up.
I would like to pick the pocket of the richest looking one.
All right, yeah, give me a sleight of hand check.
Sleight of hand. Bugger it, it's a 6.
No, you do find a pocket, and you just very deftly slip your fingers and find inside, but they don't come into contact with anything of use. The good news is you're able to take them out without being noticed.
And
Rich
whistle
people-
casually.
I was gonna say, rich people are tricky because they're the ones that have bells on their pocket.
It's true.
Deep pockets.
That too. You've only got short arms.
This is a issue I do encounter occasionally.
Hmm.
What are you doing?
Excellent.
Are
Well,
you standing with Morsey, by the way, Ozzy? Because I was just like right near the door, so
Yeah, you're standing at the door. You have to.
yeah. We
What's
those
up?
two.
What side are you standing on? I have to know. Left or right?
Let me see. Well, probably from coming in, I'd be on the right side of the door.
Okay, that's fine.
No. He's got a ring and it's got ghosts.
Yes, I'm aware of his ghosts.
And he's selling it.
Well, wow, right in front of the society. He's so brazen.
my silent image fades back into the ether. And have we noticed anyone like begging on the way around Providence at all yet?
Yes, there is the occasional beggar.
Wonderful. How many are in the square with us?
You're not seeing any in Arena Square at the moment.
Okay. So we would have seen them.
You did see
near the
some
civic district.
on this beside the street. They seem to mainly be at the entrances to the town.
All right. Well, I'll distribute 15 silver into the alms bowls of beggars that we walk past.
Okay, cool.
And sort of speak some gentle words of encouragement to the people who are begging.
Are you trying to hide from your party that you're doing this?
Not particularly.
Okay.
If anyone asks, I'll answer with a simple, "It's good to have friends in low places."
Cool.
I am going to wonder if that's a short joke, but take it as a compliment.
Excellent.
Well,
And so I
where
guess
are we
as
going
we're
now?
walking,
Ozzy, I guess, has got news for us.
yeah, Aussie, where are we going next? What did the society have to say?
Well, not that it's any of your business, but I need to go back to the society. I mean, the academy. Too many places.
I think at this
Oh.
point, it probably very much is our business.
Look,
Also,
partially
the
your business, it's partially not your business.
coordinator Darnish did tell you where the dig was that the soul vessel came from.
Yeah, you sure did. That's my business.
So we're just following Ozzy? I mean, Morsey's fine with that.
We are in a psychic hostage bond.
Yeah, it's true.
Hello. Sorry, I was napping there. How are we doing? Do we know where we're going?
Yes.
Where my lab is?
Where we're going. I don't know exactly where your lab is, but I have some leave.
Oh, good.
If you don't mind just stopping off at the academy, I'll talk to you guys on the way.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
okay.
you'll head back to the academy.
How far away is it from here? How long a walk?
Oh, it's only about 20 minutes from here. It's fairly close.
Right, so I guess just as we walk, I will explain about the geonal dig site at a place called Mirror's Reach.
That
Does
did get
anyone know
mentioned
where
on
that
our
is?
tour guide, didn't they?
No, nobody has mentioned Mirror's Reach to you
Right,
before.
okay.
You can assume it is outside the city somewhere.
He also mentioned, was it Val's Embrace? Did I write that down right? Val's Embrace?
Yes, Val's Embrace.
Val's Embrace, and it was near Val's Embrace.
Yeah.
So, dig is at Mirror's Reach near Val's Embrace. So, where did we go that someone mentioned maps? We should probably find a better map than the one we have.
There is Zoot's
think was
maps in Arena Square.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps we should just stop off there on the way back to the academy room.
Okay, so you go into Zoot's maps.
No, man.
Inside there is a human female. She looks relatively young, about 20 or so. She is... it's a fairly dusty, musty place. There's a smell of parchment and ink and all sorts of stuff. And there's just this little front room that she's in, and she seems to be very meticulously copying another map that's a much larger map that's in front of her. And there are stairs leading up to other parts of the building that are currently that you can't see into. And a bell on the door rings as you come in, and she looks up and says, "Oh yes, hello, welcome to Zoots. You're looking for a map?"
Yes.
I was waiting for her to say nada. Anyway, sorry.
Anyway, yes, we're looking for somewhere around Mirror's Reach or Val's Embrace.
Oh, so are you looking for sort of a map of the general region around?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Close.
Well, all right, here. Yes, we've got one that we haven't sold yet. Master Zoot finished. This one's from a Master Zoot drew this up a couple of years ago, but it's still very, very accurate. I can assure you of that. And we've still got at least one in. Yes, here we go. And she starts rummaging through, and she brings out this. Looks like it's quite a nice traveler's map. So it's ink on permanent ink on cloth, nicely stained, and it shows the whole. Most of the island that you're on. It's got cities, paths, forests, and everything marked off. And she says, so this will be 20 gold pieces.
20
Yikes.
gold pieces for a map that's 2 years out of date.
3, I think.
She says, sir, most maps that people sell are at least a dozen years out of date before they are even made available.
Most maps aren't 20 gold, my friend.
Most maps aren't created by Master Zoot.
Would we have heard of Master Zoot? Any of us?
No.
If we all put 5 gold in, it's fine.
Someone did just earn 5 gold.
Oh, did he now? Perfect.
15.
Are you haggling?
I
He
am
is
haggling.
haggling.
15 gold.
All right,
No,
persuasion check, please.
You best blow on those dice.
That was a 7, but I'm going to silver tongue it up to 10, so it's 15.
Good grief. She says, look, I can't really make that kind of decision. I'll have to get the master down.
Wonderful. Let's talk to Master Zoot.
Could you wait here a moment, please? And she quickly dashes up the steps.
Are you going to do this everywhere we go?
Dagmar, quick, grab the map. No.
And then storming down the steps comes this tiny goblin. About
He's a goblin.
2.5 foot tall, very, very old, wrinkled, just tiny little wisps of white hair, pointy nose, pointy ears, big round eyes that are sort of now drooping with age. He comes down and says, "What the fuck you people go here? You think my map's worth less than 20 gold? You know how much time I put into this?
Absolutely not, sir. He thinks your map's a lot less than 20 gold.
You're a better map maker than me? You think you can do something like this?"
Oh no, I could not make a map if my life depended on it. But there is a certain value that is ascribed to currency, particularly in more civilized societies like human or elf or dwarf.
Oh, get the fuck out of my place. The rest of you, 20 gold.
I'll give you 30 for it. Consider it an apology.
30, I'll take it. Sold. All right, I've got to get back to work now.
Wonderful.
It storms back up the stairs.
Yes.
Very coldly to Vaterica.
So, do we have a map? He says, as he's waiting outside.
And
You make the sale
you're good
for,
paying
for
a decent
30
price.
gold pieces.
Yes. You owe me.
Did you
And
not haggle?
Well, considering how well you did it, I didn't see the need to jump in.
Well, that seems fair.
And now that you've done this, I can move you to a new map in Estral.
Oh
Oh
boy.
my gosh. Well,
Wow.
the world Oh, there's the Titan up there.
Oh man, yep, there he is.
Oh, cool.
Friend.
Yep, thank you to April who sketched out the Titan of Gamdanan from week 1. And
Hang on.
I then
hang on. Zoot knew it was there. It's on the map. That bastard.
the Titan, there are tales of the Titan, of all the Titans roaming around the Wandering Isles. So
Right.
how accurate some of these illustrations are is up for debate, but
Well, guy nailed it. Jeez.
bloody hell, I'm glad you people got to this map before the end of this episode. I've been killing myself for weeks over this.
Oh, this is so good though. Isn't it nice? Oh,
It's a really cool map.
So pretty.
And on that note, it is now about time to finish. If you we'll just quickly look at the map, you can see Providence is near where I've placed you on the map. To the west of you, you can see Halewood. To the north of there, you can see Mirror's Reach. So the direct path to get there is through Mercer's Pass. But you'll see it says danger underneath. The longer route is via Providence Ray around to the north and then to the west. As a DM, I would like to know which path you're going to take, because it'll help me prepare for next session. Otherwise, we'll finish this in a moment.
Right. Have we seen any evidence of like beasts of burden here? Like, I don't know, horses or like oxen on carts or...
There are horses and oxen about, yes.
Right.
Oh man, I can see the dead predator on the map. Sorry.
Sweet.
Excited.
What do we want?
I mean, so far our reaction to danger has been to run from it. So
Man, there's the spiders too.
I feel like my instinct is the longer route, but I'll go with the party vote.
Is that young lady still? Are we still in the shop? Is that young lady still there?
Yeah, she looks a little bit embarrassed.
Yeah, sorry about him. He does a lot. You wouldn't happen to know, I guess, the easiest path to get. We're trying to get to Mirror's Edge.
Oh,
Mirror's Reach.
Mirror's Edge was a very good game. She says,
I can't climb that well.
great soundtrack. She says, Well, I've not been there myself. My understanding is people generally say don't go through Mercer's Pass unless you're ready for a fight. There's I don't know the details, but there's supposed to be things in there, like, I don't know, bone things. So I don't know. You look like you can take care of yourself, but Lord, it's not. I can't take any liability. I can't really advise you on which path to take. So
No, that's fine. That's fine. I suppose that's what the answer to my question. Bone things.
I can say that look, all of the trade routes, pretty much everybody takes the long way. The short way is for people who are in a desperate rush or who are pretty sure that they can, survive a fight.
Well, I don't think we're in a terrible rush, are we? I'm also thinking, are we? See what
And a voice in your head thinks back, I don't know. I think this could get worse over time. Like the weird things that you're experiencing. Like, I'm pretty sure we're not meant to be like this.
Yeah, no joke. Well, does anyone have any preferences either?
It's like, what's the difference?
I'm
in
remembering
raids?
how close Vatericus came to being
He was a
quite
kebab.
killed by a spider.
Yeah. He certainly was well done for a bit there.
And we seem to be missing a scout owl.
Yes! I really need to sit down for an hour and get glow back. Wow.
So
Well-
it sounds like the vote is leaning towards the long road.
It's looking like the long road.
Okay. That is good for me to know. And that is where we're going to finish tonight's session. We went a little over time. So thank you for hanging around, players. And thank you, everyone, for watching at home. And we should be back to what should become our regular weekly schedule from now on. Thank you very much.
Oh yeah.
Bye.